Okay. Previously in the GodBreaking, in the city of Westvane, the adventuring heroes have found themselves aligned with Reginald Haas, the king of Hasselin. And in dire straits, with the knowledge of an attacking horde of slaad, he finds himself with his army fully occupied at the moment. So he has contacted the heroes and asked them for support handling some internal conflicts. Tasked with monitoring the Arch-Cleric Bartholomew Quaylen's actions, and if possible retrieving the Crown Prince Tyrell from his possession, the party quietly infiltrated the High Temple of Torm and attempted to fulfill their mission. They found themselves quickly confronted by the paladin Elwin the Powerful, and after some shrewd negotiation and persuasion, they managed to bring him over to their side and convince him to change allegiances away from the apparently violent Bartholomew Quaylen, and asked him to work towards the good of the people in this city. The heroes then moved on to face the Arch-Cleric himself, and after an epic fight, they defeated him. And the appearance of his god, Garl Glittergold, brought some information, some enlightenment, and the realization that the Arch-Cleric had gone rogue and was not acting within his god's wishes. They made peace with Garl Glittergold, and now they find themselves facing the next chapter of their adventure. Okay, you guys have just defeated the Arch-Cleric. You are sitting in the temple. His body is unconscious on the ground. The gnomish god Garl Glittergold has vanished. And you have retrieved the Crown Prince Tyrell Haas. He's a little bit scared, having witnessed some of the violence, but he is certainly cooperative with you guys. What would you like to do?
Balanar's gonna smack him for turning into a T-Rex and trying to eat him.
Yeah, I think we should knock him out.
He's unconscious. You guys knocked him out already. Balanar, you were beating on him like the whole conversation last time, at the end of last session.
Teach him to turn into a T-Rex and try to eat me.
Yeah, see, he's
Alright.
unconscious. What are you percepting, Deimos, and why are you
I
taking
was just going to
advantage?
see if I could tell he was popped out. And my shield.
Oh, your shield. Did I give you a shield?
Yeah, I got a fancy little shield that has an eyeball on it or something.
That's right. Advantage on initiative rolls and perception checks. Alright.
Oh, I didn't even know initiative rolls.
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay. Yeah, he's completely unconscious. He's barely alive. Remember, Euphamia had pretty much killed him, but he had Death Ward cast on himself, so he barely came back. And then, since then, Balanar spent about 5 minutes just pounding on him. So he's borderline comatose right now.
Alright, well, I'm going to tie him up just for good measures. I'm going to throw him on my back.
Okay.
I'll say, hey guys, well, we might as well bring him back to the king, and because right now he can't lie, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So if we got to bring him back, and we'll make him confess everything, and it's all gonna be great.
Okay. So you guys want to head back to the palace?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my little white cloak thing over him. I wrap it around him so people aren't gonna see. Oh, they're carrying around the beaten up high cleric.
Okay.
Yeah, we should head back to the palace and turn him in.
Alright. So you guys are at the end of Holy Row, which is right around here on the map. That's where the High Temple of Torm is. It's a very quick shot over to the back entrance. Well, actually, you have no way of getting back into the back entrance. that you snuck out from last night under watch of the king's personal bodyguard. So you'd have to swing back around, go this way to the main entrance over here. Okay?
Sounds good.
To get back in. It doesn't take long. It is mid-afternoon by about around this time of day. You guys head back in that direction. The body is cleverly disguised, and as you pass through the Circle Market, there's a lot of people milling around. There's a lot of commotion since the army had departed not too long ago. People are excited. There's a nervous anticipation in the air, and just a tension and an underlying layer of anxiety as people are just wondering what's going to happen, what's going on. Okay. Let me have all of you roll me a perception check.
I see nothing.
Man, I told you I've been rolling like crap all week.
Okay. You guys continue into the main gateway. The guards acknowledge you. They've been given word of your position, and you're standing with the king, so they just wave you on inside. It doesn't take long. You head into the palace. You talk to one of the stewards, and after about half an hour, you find yourself in a meeting room waiting for the king. Okay. A few minutes later, the door opens up, and the king walks into the room, followed by two of his personal bodyguards. One of them is the man that you recognize, who let you out the evening before, Cleric Trillfall. He walks in, and he says, "I've heard news of great commotion in the Holy District. I assume it was your doing. The army has not been gone but a few hours, and you have returned to me already in broad daylight. I hope your reasons are strong."
Alright, I walk over to the king, and I put the cleric dude in front of him.
He gasps a little bit.
I said, "It's okay. The Garl Glitter Gold guy, he came to us, told that this guy's a phony and he can't lie for a decent amount of time, I think, right now. So we can ask him whatever we want."
"The Arch-Cleric. Here, in person. Where is my son?"
We brought him with us, didn't we?
Yeah. The kid, he's about an 11-year-old boy with just brown hair, dressed in like an acolyte's robes. He pokes his head out from behind Euphemia. He says, Father, they rescued me. The Arch-Cleric was holding me, and they came and they defeated him. You should have seen how scary he had become." He rushes over to his dad. His dad kneels down quickly and extends his arms and says, "Son, come here." And they share an embrace, a tender moment between father and son. You see the king whisper some words into his son's ear and tussle his hair. And he stands up and he says, "I'm greatly pleased to have you back, my child. I was distressed. I was sore afraid that you had been lost to me once the cleric had started to make his demands known." He looks up at you all and says, "My thanks. I am forever in your debt for saving my son from this man."
Balanar starts kind of smacking the cleric lightly on the face to wake him up. Hey, you need to explain some things to this guy.
Okay. There is no motion whatsoever.
Alright, I'm wrapping him up big time. I'm going to tie him up big time, and I am going to put a Cure Wounds on him.
Okay. So cast a spell. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
And with that, it doesn't take much for you to realize that the Arch-Cleric is dead.
Oh, really? Because Revivify, I have.
Are you going to try to cast it on him?
Yep.
It's going to cost 300 gold.
Cost 300 gold?
Yes, it does.
All right, I talked to the king. Was like, hey, I can bring this guy back from the dead. I'm gonna need 300
Just
gold.
do
though.
it.
Yeah, I'll pitch in too.
All right, yeah, I spend 300 gold, and I boop him on the nose, and I'm like, oh, praise old Tormo, or Tempest, and bring this bastard back to life. Hocus pocus.
You cast a level 3 spell. There's a flash of golden, radiant energy. It surges around the cleric's body, and for a second you can see a hint of motion in his limbs, but then darkness, and it just fades away. He's still dead.
What?
Do you have speak to the dead?
You gather that had you casted it about half an hour ago, while you guys were walking through the marketplace, it might have worked. But Revivify has a 1-minute cooldown on it. You have to cast it within 1 minute of him dying.
Okay.
Do you
All
have
right,
speak
priest.
to the dead?
I do not.
So, Deimos, roll me a perception check. And you have advantage, so.
I can't see shit. Even
No,
with my shield.
that's fine. You're looking at him more closely, and you realize, and you recognize some of the scars on his body from where you guys had come, had been fighting him. There's gashes on his side that have mostly been sealed up from Balanar's axe, and there's some arrow slots from where Ashok's arrows had pierced him, and there's definitely the big scarred mess of flesh on his neck where Euphamia's wolf form had torn into his throat. But you see a fresh wound on the back of his neck, up at the base of his skull, that was not there before and could not have come from you guys. And it's shoved deeply up. It's like as if a dagger were thrust straight into his brain.
I gasp. I'm like, oh, someone, I don't know, killed this guy who was already pretty much dead. There's an assassin.
You guys rolled like shit on your perception checks when you were walking through the market.
Come on, Euphemia got a 16.
Yeah, not good enough.
Ah, well.
I'd see a 24. That's not good enough?
No, that was...
No, that was from before.
Yeah.
Oh.
So wait, a 16 wasn't good enough to see someone come up to our party and stab a guy and then run away.
That is correct.
Ah, damn, this guy's good.
Damn stealthy ninjas.
Gosh darn it. Well, I tell him, I was like, hey, I have proof that the little gold god did come down and telling us that this guy is a bastard, pretty much. He was doing all the wrong things, and he was gonna overthrow you or something like that, I think, right, guys?
Yeah, and he was working with that one dude. Here, let me get my notes.
But I told him the name
King.
of the... What's his name? That captain that the new headband is going to go to. The guy, yeah, Aelin.
Aelin's
Someone's like, well,
powerful.
Aelin can prove to you that Glittergold came down and this guy was a bastard. And he was attempting
King,
to
you're,
overthrow you guys.
Your
Arthur
royal
Brooks.
mage. Can he speak to, can he cast speak to dead, or speak to the dead?
He says, I do not know. This is distressing news, no matter the form. I must admit, the death of the Arch-Cleric was far from my mind. But you have brought my son to me.
Ask your son. He was kind of there. He was like hiding, but he was there.
The kid is looking up at him and he's nodding his head. Father, they speak the truth. I saw the God incarnate. He appeared to them. And they they speak what he said. The Arch-Cleric was not following his wishes and was becoming quite violent. The king says, truly disturbing. The paladin, Aland, you mentioned him.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna be like the new head cleric-ish dude for at least this god or something.
Very well, I have much to think on. Now, you mentioned...
Problem is, this guy was working with other people in your group. So he wasn't working alone against you.
What do you mean?
Arthur Brooks. That guy was I think they're working together to overthrow you because they're both buttholes.
He was under
Yeah.
the assumption that Arthur Brooks was helping him to overthrow
No, didn't he
you.
confess to working with Arthur Brooks?
Well, he did,
To
yeah.
dethrone him? Yeah.
But it was obvious that Arthur Brooks also informed the king to, get rid of the Arch-Cleric. So Arthur Brooks is playing a much bigger game than anyone, than this priest or the king, knows.
The king is... With that news, the king is a little bit more disturbed, visibly more disturbed than he was at seeing the body. He says, that cannot be. That makes no sense. Brooks
Yeah,
has
it's hard
been-
to believe. And I'm sure he can play both sides really well. But we gotta cut to the chase and just accept that he's a pretty damn smart guy and he knows how to get what he wants. He's really manipulative and he's getting a little bit power crazy.
Brooks has gone off to his estate in the northwest. He had to retrieve some things for me. He left earlier this morning as the army was departing. He should be back in a couple of days. I must tell you, this news that you have brought to me is disturbing. I don't know how much I trust it. There's no one I trust more in this world than Arthur Brooks. And for you
Your
to bring
son was
accusation...
there.
What about your son?
Your son was there when the cleric confessed.
Yeah, and he saw a god, and the gods still work through us, which are good. Which I'm just going to say, if you're saying you doubt the integrity and intelligence of two good gods and your son and all of us, that's kind of crazy.
You have given me much to think on. Indeed you have. Give me some time. I must weigh my thoughts on this matter, and as he's speaking mid-sentence, the door to the meeting room that you're in, the small meeting room that you're in, flies open. And a guard comes rushing in, holding a parchment rolled up in his hand. He says, My king! My king! Word from the front lines! Urgent word from General Strum! I was told to bring this directly to you! The king turns and says, Speak! What is it? The man opens a scroll up, and you see it's a spell scroll. He mutters some arcane terminology as he reads off the scroll, and
Can Euphamia tell what he's saying or what spell he's gonna cast? Oh wait,
it's basically a sending spell. As
okay.
the scroll flares up, and the words glow red for a split second. They vanish, and the scroll is consumed in the light. The image this is a modified sending spell from the front lines. You see the image of the general appear before you. He's translucent. He's obviously not physically present, but it's in his likeness. And he looks up and he says, My king! My king! We have fallen. The slaad were here in greater number than we could have expected. Hundreds of them. We were taken unawares despite our best efforts. The magicians that accompanied us, we knew that the slaad would be resistant to magic, but we did not know the extent. This was a trap. He clutches his chest, and you see some dark blood seeping out from his side. He says, We've lost already a quarter of our number, and many more are in dire straits. I have ordered retreat on several fronts, but we cannot hold for long. I'm afraid the lines will break before we can do much more. The slaad are upon us, and they are aggressive and they are vicious. The king is visibly disturbed. He says, "What can be done? What are their plans? What are their intent?" He says, "I know not, my king. This is chaos. But we will hold. And you hear an explosion behind him. He turns around. He says, "We must retreat, my king. I am going to send the bulk of our army back to West Vane as quickly as possible. I fear the slaad will be pursuing us hotly. I would urge you, fortify the city. We are 1 day's travel away. You have some time, but West Vane must be their next target, and we cannot hold them back for long. I will stay behind with a small number. We will try to buy time, but our efforts, we will be greatly disadvantaged." At this, the king says, "No, you must not stay behind. We need you here. Leave someone else to stall them. I order you, return with your army." The general shakes his head. He says, "I cannot. My king, I cannot sacrifice my men while I flee. That is not a warrior's way." The king turns to you all. He says, "You see this is a dire situation. Please, can any of you persuade the general to return with the army? I cannot lose him."
Hey,
You
general
have
guy.
orders from your king. Return now. That is your way.
General, your help, you would save more lives coming back to the city and helping defend it here than sacrificing yourself just so the guards can make it back. You're more useful here with us.
I'm gonna say, well, we already know that if you go out there, you're all gonna die. That's just gonna be a fact. And once you guys die, they're gonna use to reproduce. So all of you guys dying, you're kind of fucking us over because there's not gonna be that many more slaad. So if you could just come back here and help us hide behind the wall and shoot arrows, it's gonna be way better. I don't know why you'd be retarded and just try to stay there. I'm just stating the opposite. Go Tempest.
Okay. Euphemia and Deimos, both give me persuasion checks.
And as I say that, I'm totally praying to Tempest for guidance.
Okay. Yeah, you guys both rolled over 20, or 20 and higher. The general raises his head and says, "'Tis a shame. 'Tis a shame for a soldier, for a leader, to leave his men to die. But you speak sense, and my king's word is law. Your Highness, I shall return with the front lines of my army. I will leave some behind to stall them, but I urge you, fortify the city. We will come back, but we will be greatly wounded and bloodied. God's willing, I will see you soon." The king nods and says, "Stay alive, Eric. There is much fighting to do, and you are the best warrior I know. Stay alive, return, and we will defeat this foe together." With that, the spell fades, and the room goes silent for a second. The king turns to you all and says, "I must summon a war council. Will you stay with me for a while longer? We have much discussing to do."
Yeah, is it cool if we, like, I don't know, crash here tonight or something? I'm, like, kind of tired out. We had to wrestle a T-Rex, and it was just a pain in the butthole.
Yes, and if you have friends and allies, retrieve them as well. I will need all capable warriors.
Okay.
Come back here in an hour. I will have my war council assembled by then.
Alright, we'll be back in 8 hours.
No, not 8 hours. An hour. 1 hour.
Damn it.
Okay.
Balanar goes out searching the bars for Biffin. He
Okay.
believes we could use Biffin's help.
Okay, let's
Oh,
make
that's a good plan.
Let's make it an hour and a half. I'm going to give you guys a short rest.
I'm gonna pray.
Okay. So, the whole time while you guys have been adventuring in Westfane, you've been traveling along with, yeah, go ahead and roll your hit dice if you want to recover hit points.
Song of Reps, by the way, so you get an
How much, Euphemia?
extra
5. Okay, so you guys can take one time, you can add 5 to one of those hit dice rolls. So you can take 5 more hit points off yourself. While you guys have been here in Westfane, your other party members who've been traveling with you have been around us also. There's been other jobs, other tasks to do. So Saren, Nottingham, Ajax, those guys are all still, they have their own rooms at the inn, and they've been adventuring as well. So you can go ahead and retrieve them and bring them in. And that's when Ajax basically comes. So Ajax and Saren and Nottingham are with you as well. You grab Biffin. Balanar, you're able to find Biffin. And an hour and a half later, you all return to the palace. You enter a larger room now. This is basically the war room. There's a large table, a large stone table in the center of the room. The ceilings are high and vaulted. There's various tapestries running along the sides, depicting battles and different and epic heroes, generals of legend, basically. And you see various statues around the room, along with different crests on the wall, with pieces of armor and pieces of weaponry, just decoratively scattered around the room. In the center is the king, with several people around the table. There are maps laid out in front of him, and he beckons you, all of you in. So it's the whole party as shown here, and also Ashok, Biffin, Saren, and Nottingham. You all enter the room together. So there's, 9 of you. He says, do I see any plus something armor? No, it's decorative.
Damn.
Mean, you could go ahead and look super. Oh, you rolled a 22. No, you don't. It's all.
Gosh damn. All right, fine.
It's all like costume jewelry.
Oh, that's some bullshit.
Okay. You enter the room, and all of you come and you stand around the table together. The king is there, as well as Moltor Bennot, basically the high arcanist of this country. You see Cyric Trilfall, the head of his personal guard. You see Lucia Voss, the Minister of the Interior. And you see several soldiers as well, and men of different rank. The king is there and says, and he says, "Thank you for coming, my friends. I've informed my people here of the situation, that the army is indeed in disarray and in full retreat. The slaad are more dangerous and far more fierce than we had anticipated. We have analyzed the state of our city, and here," so he lays out the map. He says, "Here's our city. We have some 22 hours now on the strong side to prepare for a full assault. There is much work that needs to be done. The best we can tell, our defenses, first of all, need to be fortified. The towers need to be re-equipped. The ballista need to be armed and tuned and ready. Any form of fire ammunition or weaponry that we can hoist to the top of the wall to drop down on invaders must be inspected and must be fully supplied. That is first and foremost one of our goals."
Wouldn't it be first and foremost to make sure everyone is within the wall?
That is also one of our highest priorities. On the outskirts of the city, there are some 15,000 residents. I've already sent messengers out to begin bringing them in, but that will take a long time and much movement, so we will need help in that arena
Remember,
as well.
every single one of those people that's left outside will be incubators for more sloth to come and kill us.
The This is true. This is true. We have begun the evacuation procedure and to begin bringing them into the city. But any hands that we can add to that will be needed. We are short-handed after all. We sent the vast majority of our strength out on this war campaign. And finally, there are people within the city who are not here, who are capable, who lead forces, or are competent warriors and strategists. We would do well to recruit some allies from within our walls. Those are the tasks that need to be accomplished within the next 24 hours. I have some men designated to each, but as I said, we are undermanned. He looks up at you all. Please, will you help us?
I will go speak to our paladin friend. I bet I can convince him to come to our aid.
So yeah, we can go try to muster up some people to go help you guys. There shouldn't be a problem at all.
Okay, so you guys, so there's 3 tasks.
I
that
think
need to be
me
done.
and Deimos should. I think me and Deimos should go recruit allies, and everyone else can, go help on other parts. We can.
I should probably go help fortify the defenses since I am a fighter and that's where my specialty is, and I can lift a lot too. So.
I think
Balanar
Euphamia
will
should
also-
try to recruit allies, and I count that she's probably the best at talking to people.
Balanar will also go help fortify the defenses.
Okay.
I can go evacuate
Well,
the
it's best to
outskirts.
have someone come with me. Then I
Well,
at least have advantage.
Here, I can at
on
least
this.
I'll help evacuate if someone else wants to go with you because I'm kind of useless in recruiting. But I can at least make a big commotion to get people's attention to try to evacuate.
Well,
them.
you do have that ability to, do miracles and, speak for your god. Because
That was my plan, just do
no one in
random
here is
shit.
going to listen to. Yeah, but no one's here is going to listen because of my god. So, regardless.
It's not your fault. Your god tries.
Well, heathens and, stupid people can't.
Yeah,
Okay.
they do kind of worship your god, but whatever.
Okay, so Ajax and Balanar, you're gonna go help with the defenses. Euphemia and Elwin, maybe go recruit allies. You guys want to do that? I think that's what I heard.
So the
And-
2 elves are going to go through the city of humans? Oh, great.
and
Yeah,
Deimos,
This ain't going to be racist.
you're gonna help evacuate.
Sounds good.
Okay, so Ajax and Balanar, Nottingham is gonna come with you to help you with that. Deimos, you're gonna find Seren is with you as well. Ajax and Biffin will go with you too, Balanar. He'll tag along with you guys. Okay, so none of you are all completely alone. Okay, as you guys are talking, the king says, "Very well. I appreciate your support in this. The defenses, as far as defenses go, I will send you all with Cleric. Cleric, please direct them as they should go. The evacuation of the outskirts, Sir Deimos, head out that way. I have some of my lieutenants moving as quickly as they can. As far as allies go, what forces do we know of that we can try to bend their ear to help our cause?"
Well, I got a couple of ideas. For one, the local church and that large paladin, he has an army of clerics that have powers from the god that can help us. Plus the carnival people, I believe, could be of use. And I was going to try the docks and the crafting section. See if any of them can lay arms or defenses.
And the king's
I
nodding
just
his head.
arrived here 2 days ago. I don't know anybody.
Actually, Balanar tells Biffin, "Hey, why don't you go gather up the scum that used to work for Jork? Maybe they could help defend the city."
"Ah, yes, those fuckers. Yeah, I can bend their ear and bring them over to our cause.
If not, give them a swift kick in the ass.
I was going to do that anyway."
Good.
So he nods. He says, "I'll help you. I know who to talk to. I'll take the North Slums. I have some connections." Elwin, you see Moltar Bennat, the High Arcanist, in deep concentration and thought. He's like rubbing his chin, and he's obviously got something on his mind.
Yeah, I walk up to him and I ask him, what are you thinking? What can I help you do since, I can help you with magic? Is there anything I can help you prepare for the defenses?
He looks up at you and he says, "Yes," he says, "as arcane casters, yes, let us be frank. I am old and I am wizened, and I have many years behind me. I am certainly more capable at certain arcane tasks than you or our bard friend here. But there is one in this city who is far more powerful than I. I have not heard from her for years now. But I know she is... In fact, I have never spoken to her directly, but I had news that she had moved to this town some years ago."
He's talking about the woman that sells the magical items.
Yeah, that's
She's
exactly what I was thinking.
You've heard of her? You've heard of Kaliota?
Yeah, we've had quite a few dealings.
Yes.
She's kind of a friend.
User in your channel timed out.
If you could find her, I know, and convince her to help, I know that she would be of great assistance to the defense of the city.
Damn, what time is it? What time of the day is it?
It's like 3 o'clock. 3 p.m.
PM? Okay.
Okay? So you guys are gonna go out, you have your assignments. The king says a couple more words, encouraging words. And... oh, Luke disconnected. And you guys break, all rushing out. The time is...
User entered your channel.
Time is of the essence.
Do they have fireworks?
You want to find some fireworks? Yeah.
Well, I was just hoping to get a bunch of things. I was trying to make a bunch of noise.
Okay. So you on the way out. So let's start with we'll start backwards. So evacuating the outskirts. So Deimos, it's you, and Saren. You guys are rushing out. So you get the idea to find some fireworks, and heading through the market district, you know there was a fireworks kind of stand there. So you're able to easily go and purchase some of the flashier things, and these aren't very expensive. We're in the realm of, like a couple gold, 4 or 5 gold for like
Alright.
several arms full of fireworks.
All right, I pick up as much as I can grab, and like a torch or something, so I can light these things.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, I got my hands, so I don't need that. Yeah,
Okay.
I grab, and Saren, I'll get Saren to grab as much as he can too.
He does as well. All right, and he's rushing out, his arms full with fireworks, and he even he casts Mage Hand, and Mage Hand is carrying a few pieces behind him as you guys are rushing out. Okay.
All right.
So you're headed out to the outskirts. You run out. Which way are you gonna go? So there's heavy population to the west, to the southeast, and like the northeast.
I'll go to the west one first. It looks the biggest.
Okay. So you guys head out to the west. You and Saren. You already see as many police, like city police, as the king could spare, out there, and trying to rustle up some people to sound the alarm. Some people are moving and getting around, but there's a large portion of people who don't believe what's happening, and they're giving the police officers like basically a bunch of crap, and they're not wanting to move.
All right, I'm gonna run up and down the streets with me and Saren. I'm casting light on Captain Fluffy Paws, sticking Captain Fluffy Paws on my head.
Okay.
I will now start chucking fireworks all around, making the biggest ruckus I can say, saying they gotta retreat. No, not retreat, but they gotta get in the city. Bad shit's gonna happen out here, and they got free money. And I'm gonna start throwing just copper pieces just everywhere.
Okay.
Just handfuls of them, just everywhere.
All right. So I'm gonna give you, because of that, go with performance. Give me a performance check with advantage because of the fireworks And since Saren is there helping you, I'll give you a +5. to
All
your
right.
modifier.
I'm gonna like totally guide the shit out of myself.
Yeah, you can
'cause
guide that.
I suck at this.
You can guidance that also. Okay.
And
Yeah.
whatever +5.
+5. Okay, so yeah, you're 23. Okay, as you run up and down the streets, causing this huge ruckus, and there's fireworks bursting in the sky, and people are definitely giving you their attention. They're actually drawing a little bit of crowd as kids start running up, and old men are popping their heads out of their little shacks, and they're looking. Oi! What's the ruckus? What do
I
you
yell
want?
out. Oh, I just yell out, be like, "Hey, y'all gotta get inside the walls, or you're gonna get fucking killed. Here's some money. Buy bows, arrows, anything you can think of. This is like a legit thing." As I hold the divine kitty in the air.
Okay. And as you do that, Saren casts thaumaturgy on you, and so your voice is booming, and it carries out through basically the whole outskirts. The people, even the more skeptical ones, they start nodding their heads, and they say, "They're serious! We're gonna die if we stay out here! Quick! Quick, gather your shit! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!" And the police are basically shouting and rushing up and down the streets as well, and the people are starting to really mobilize and starting to move.
Alright, and then before my stuff's kind of done, while they're doing stuff, I'm gonna commandeer a horse for the greater good.
Okay.
And just run around to all the other little sections and kind of do the same thing.
Okay, you and Saren both grab horses. It's not a very... Oh yeah, there are definitely stables out here, so you find one, and you tell the guy you'll bring him back, but the guy's not even listening. He's just trying to get his family and his gear and head inside. Okay, so you guys go out and you start doing the same thing on the rest of the outskirts. Let's jump next up. Let's go to the Euphemia. Euphemia and Elwin. Where are you guys going?
I'm gonna track down the paladin friend first.
Okay. You know where the temple district was. And as you're walking down Holy Row, you see him standing there, not at the High Temple where you guys fought Quaylen, but way further back. There is a temple to a minor god, busted, like the door is busted open. And things are scattered all over the place. But in front of the temple, outside in the street, are some temple soldiers from the Temple of Torm and a couple paladins and clerics. They look like they've been beaten up, and they're basically kneeling down or lying down on the ground outside the temple. And there in front of them is Ayland, the Powerful. He's standing in front of them all, and he's basically talking to them like very sternly. As you approach, you hear him saying, "We are better than this. You should be ashamed of what you've done to this noble house of a goddess. We are not violent people. Torm would be disappointed, sorely disappointed with you. Come, I encourage you. The Arch-Cleric's way is not the right way. Let us fight for good. Let us care for this city instead of taking advantage of it. You are better men than this." And you can tell that he's been slapping them around too, and he had forcefully stopped them from whatever violence they were committing here. And he definitely has their full attention. He looks up to you, Euphemia, and he says, "Ah, friends, what would you have of me?"
So, have you been in contact with Glittergold of late?
"I have," he smiles, and you can see the glint of the golden circlet on his head, the one that Garl Glittergold had offered to you guys. The god visited me, and he told me of what has happened. These are the last of Quaylen's errant servant boys. I have just whipped them into the fold. Is that not correct?" And he glares at the men on the ground. And you see them nodding their assent.
So all those priests and people that were going out to cause issues have all joined your side then?
This is the last of them. They are mine now.
Then it's time to put them to good use, because the city is about to be attacked by a large force that defeated the whole army that just left a day ago.
You see surprise come across his face. This is terrible.
The army is in full retreat, all of them, and the monsters are right behind them, heading back to this city. We have less than a day before they arrive and breach the walls. So we need you and all of your friends and the power of glitter gold at the walls to help and defend the city.
He says.
Yes. And also, maybe you can put half of your people to help heal the wounded that are going to come in, and the other half to defend the city.
Of course. Of course. My men
Plus-
and anything that I have, all my resources are yours.
Plus, make sure to inform your healers that many of the men might be infected with... What are they called? The monsters?
Slaad. Yeah, the slaad. Slaad.
They might be infected with slaad children, and they're gonna basically break out of them and kill the people and mature quickly. So you have to have a way to stop this and save them from death.
At this, you see some of the clerics begin to murmur a little bit and talk to each other. Ayland shakes his head. He nods his head up and down. He says, "Yes, we will pay special attention to this form of disease that you speak of. I will have my healers give a particular eye towards this."
And if you know of any other fighters or people that will fight in the name of your church or the city, have them report to the walls with any arms they have as soon as possible.
He says, "There are some. I will have my men go out and gather. You say we have 1 day."
So far, as I said, the army should be here in a day, or what's left of it, and the monsters will be soon behind.
Very well. We will be ready. Thank you, fair lady. Okay. With that, he commands his men to gather, and you can hear him telling them about, just basically giving them specific orders, telling them to gather these people, to contact those people, to make sure everyone was fully equipped. This is war. All right. So you've got Ayland.
You want to run past the magic shop, see if she's there?
She won't be there at this time. It's still like 3, right?
Yeah, it's like 3:30.
I think we should go talk to our carnival friends, because I think they'd be the most logical people. They might have some hidden gems in their ranks.
Okay.
Okay, lead on.
You guys head over down to the fairgrounds. Okay. You guys head over down to the fairgrounds, and the fair is much less active than it was a few days ago. It's the last couple days of the fair. Some of the acts have already packed up, and it's a little smaller than it was at its height. People have kind of gotten bored of it, but you do recognize some of the people that you had competed with before. The Hawkeye guy his booth is still up, and your friend Scarpio, the fairground master, is standing in the central area of the fairgrounds, still singing his tunes, still entertaining people.
I'm gonna try to get Scarpio's attention and nod him over to a more private area to talk.
Okay. And as always, so this is the fairgrounds. As always, even though he seems distracted, even though he seems like he was talking to a bunch of people and singing and dancing, as soon as you look up at him, he spins his head around and he looks at you. You get the feeling that he was aware of your presence long before you even saw him. He nods his head, and he steps off his pedestal, and he heads over to a corner of the fairground. He says, "Yes, my lady."
It seems I'm here to ask for your assistance. I assumed you know that the army left the city just a day ago.
Of course, 'tis news that none could have avoided.
Did you also know that the army was almost wiped out and is in full retreat heading back to the city?
That word has reached my ear just recently. As you can see, my men have begun to pack up already. We are not fans of warfare.
Yes, but you have many skilled people here that can help in the upcoming battle. We need your help.
We are survivors. 'Tis not ours to defend a city. 'Tis not even our homeland.
Yes, but you hired us to help this city and others stop the pirates that are soon going to come. With this city about to be destroyed, do you think those pirates that you wanted stopped so badly will have any issue with doing whatever they want without the permission of this lord?
Okay, make a persuasion check. And Elwin, do you want to help her?
I'll help her.
Okay. So go ahead with advantage. Elwin is there with you, and he's a very charismatic person as well. Now, Scarpio's a little bit of a tight ass, so it's gonna have to be a good roll.
Well, that was a shit-ass roll.
Yeah, he says, "My lady, I recruited your services because I have greater ideals in mind. And as grand as this city is, this is but a small country. There are much more powerful forces in this world, and much greater risks, and much greater causes to be had. I'm afraid my men and I must move on.
Oh, sorry. I was muted.
We shall be in touch, but this is not our battle. We have already begun to pack up.
Well, I'm afraid no one's allowed to leave the city at this time. You're not going to be able to leave.
Perhaps. Perhaps not. But that is our task to handle. I assure you, though, should we be trapped here and unable to leave, and should these monsters indeed invade and get in, we will not stand idly by. We will defend ourselves and any around us. However, to actively move in the direction of city defense, I'm afraid that is beyond our knowledge and our skill. And as I said, this is not our battle.
Disappointed. I thought you had more integrity than that.
Integrity. Haha. It is a very subjective concept. In my mind, what I am doing is quite virtuous. There are greater causes in this world. I bid you adieu. And you can see that his men have already begun packing up and putting things away around him. Okay? With that, let's hold on to you guys for a little while. I'm going to jump over to Ajax and Balanar. And you guys at Nottingham, you guys are headed over to the city walls. Okay, so you're moving along with Cyrek Trilfall, the head of the King's Guard. He turns to you all and says, "We have normal defenses here, and you guys take a rope elevator up to the top of the city wall. The city wall is fairly high; it's about 40 feet tall. This is a well-built city wall. It's not the most impressive thing that you've ever seen, but it's certainly substantial. On each gate there are 6 primary entrances to the city, and each entrance is flanked by 2 large guard towers. All right. So he brings you up to one of the guard towers, and he says, "As you can see, we've got all the normal thoroughfare. We've got heavy ballista. We have a couple catapults here. We can drop the portcullis and cut the chains and anchor it with these, and lock it in place with these large iron bars to prevent it from being lifted. So he's starting to describe to you various things. What would you guys like to do?
Well, first, I have a question. Does the party know what these invaders' weaknesses are?
Yeah, they got a full analysis of their biology and they fought them a couple times. So they know they're resistant to magic. They have quite a few hit points. They're biological in nature. They reproduce quickly, and they're very vicious.
Do they have, like, are they vulnerable to fire or water or?
They have no vulnerabilities that you're aware of.
Okay.
But they take full damage from like an axe or a crossbow or stuff like that. But you know for a fact that they're resistant to magic damage or a lot of kinds of magic damage.
Okay.
Were they resistant to radiant damage? I don't remember.
They were not. Let me just pull up one of their things. Since you guys...
Balanar's gonna go ahead and start checking the ballistas.
Okay. They're resistant to acid, cold, fire, lightning, and thunder. So basically elemental magic damage. But radiant, necrotic, poison, it all affects them normally.
Psychic too, right?
Say what?
Psychic too, right?
Correct.
Could you pull up a picture of them?
Sure. I'll throw one up.
Thank you.
So, Balanar, you're inspecting the defenses. Go ahead and roll me a perception or investigation, whichever you prefer. With advantage, you got a lot of time to do this. So you're giving it a thorough once-over.
And about, what's their size?
They're large.
Large.
Okay. So, Balanar, you see that as you guys are making rounds along the walls, that they could indeed use some restocking of ballista ammunition. Some of the bolts, the large bolts that they had in place, were poorly crafted. So those could use replacing. You're talking about 24 of them over the course of the whole wall. The ballista themselves seem to be well maintained and fully functional. You do recognize some weaknesses in one of the gates on the north wall. So, and not really the gate itself, but really the hinges and the track that it travels along could use some fortification.
I turn to Ajax and I tell him, perhaps we should lock down all the gates but one and try to funnel all the enemy to this area.
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so what do you guys... You're saying like making a kill zone or something like that?
Yeah, we'll lock down all the gates with the bars and everything so that they can't use them. We'll post a couple of sentries just in case they do start breaking through so that they can warn the rest of us. And then try to funnel everybody through towards one section.
Okay, so looking at the city map, the army went to the northeast. So they will be returning along this path at that gate.
Is that the gate that looks like the tracks are kind of weak?
No. The weak track is the one on the northwest, right here.
Okay, so I let them know that they should repair those tracks, and I also tell them to go ahead and start grabbing stuff to make more ballista bolts, because they have some ballista bolts that were real cheap and don't work for shit.
Okay. And are you wanting to have them focus the majority of their strength on this gateway?
Yeah, we'll lock down all the other gateways and have them focus the majority of their strength on that gateway. But again, we'll have a few people at every other gate, just in case the enemy does break through. Those people have enough time to send somebody to warn us. Okay.
So go ahead and give me both of you. Go ahead and give me strength checks. And this is just a general working. You guys are helping them work. You're encouraging them. You're observing ways that you guys can be helpful. And
Can I go into like a pseudo rage just to get
Yeah, you can have
some
advantage. Both of you can have advantage. This is a long period of time that you guys are working over this. So, Ajax, you can roll again. Okay.
Much better.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Both of you rolled really well. Okay. So, as you guys start conversing with the officers and the soldiers along the wall, the authority in your voices and the experience and the knowledge with which you speak commands instant respect, and you basically get everyone to start coming along to your ideas. They start agreeing, and they start taking your directions. Over the next, basically the rest of the day, you guys are going to be leading the efforts to fortify those walls, those entrances, and lock them down, to focus the majority of strength on that northeast gateway, and to repair and resupply anything that was broken.
Actually,
let me ask a question real quick. I'm picturing when these guys attack, it's kind of like Goblin Horde style, where they're all just kind of punching the wall and hoping something happens.
Well, you don't know. You haven't seen them yet. You haven't seen them attack yet.
Okay, I was just curious.
Do you have any questions to ask about them? Go ahead and ask him to help you guys formulate a strategy.
Well, I would guess do they rely on numbers or do they rely on their strength?
What do you guys think?
I honestly think they rely more on their strength than they
Yeah.
do their numbers.
And it seemed that they have a. Oh, I'm not there. Sorry.
Oh, you guys can talk. This is shared information.
I think they rely on both because you're going to be screwed no matter what they do.
And there's some of them that are smarter than others, so they might have a like a chain of command kind of deal.
I also remember that they were kind of amphibious, so maybe we should put some defenses around the docks also.
I was thinking that as well when we were in the King's Room. I meant to ask him about that. What's he got for sea battleships?
Okay. Good. Very good question.
Very good questions.
I guess I'll ask the guy who's guiding us if he knows what we have for sea defenses.
The soldier turns to you and says, "Not really my forte, but I'm aware the king has a couple of war frigates. Not many. We don't have a very great standing navy, but he does have a couple of war frigates that were commissioned some years ago by his father. I believe they could be used inside the docks, the dock area, to defend it. But for the most part, yes, that area is wide open. You can't really build a wall in the middle of the river."
I say, you know what? Let's move one ballista from each gate we're locking down, and set those up near the docks if possible.
Okay. And that's easy. Go ahead.
And also those gates that we're locking down, perhaps we could set some kind of traps or just barricade them with boxes or crates of useless junk.
Okay, so from the opposite sides, yeah, you guys set some men to it, and they work for the rest of the day, and that they stack tons of crap inside the gates, right? So, like, carts, horse carts, building parts, and lots of stone and brick and large boulders and stuff.
This is assuming everybody has already evacuated from
Yes.
the out. Okay.
Yes.
Then yes, that's what I mean. That they cut the rope to let the gates down, bar them, and then set up all that junk in front of it to keep, just in case they break the gate down. They'll have some other stuff in the way.
Good. Okay.
Also, I'm thinking if these guys are swimmers and they try to like crawl out on the docks, is there some sort of way where you can make it harder for them to like come out of the water?
Okay, so let's look at the map. I'll zoom you guys in on the dock area. So basically, the docks are kind of wide open, because like the soldier said, you can't build a wall in the middle of the docks. The edge of the wall here and here, there is an open area where you guys can place ballista that would have, you know, definitely a crossfire effect and be able to hit most things as they come in. The docks themselves are pretty wide open. These rises, though, these natural rises, they could be used as fortification areas. So if you placed archers and even maybe some, not full ballista, but larger artillery pieces. Now, they don't have like full-on cannons and gunpowder here, but they have like medium-sized ballista and catapults. Inside, behind these rises or up on them, you would have some kind of tactical advantage over things that were coming in from the water.
Okay, I suggest that. I also suggest that we might I don't know, this is obviously not what they have, but barbed wire up on the front by where the water edges, make it harder.
Okay, along the shoreline.
Some sort of like, I don't know, not barbed wire, if they know what that is, but something like barbed wire, like metal, and essentially like barricades.
Actually, I do as I tell them, how about we get some of the scum and the rogues to go ahead and maybe set up poison dart traps along the paths leading out of the water.
Okay.
That's a good idea too.
All right. You're able to
I mean,
get in
Biffin
touch.
is kicking people's asses.
Yeah. You guys, after you spend a few hours, or you know, most of the day, basically on the walls, formulating the strategy, you guys are able to make contact with Biffin. You head over to the north slums, and you see him just really, like, literally kicking people's asses and getting them out. He's got the scum of the area, all the thugs and rogues and stuff. He's got them whipped into shape. He's got a couple cuts on his arm, and he's scruffed up a little bit from where people fought back. But you notice that there were some heads cracked and some black eyes and people limping around as he's been kicking their asses. And you're able to recruit a variety of, you know, just these low-life people to start booby-trapping the shoreline. And you grab some soldiers and you pile. You're not able to quite barricade the entire shoreline because it's a large area, but you're able to seal off the edges, so at least you have some kind of funnel effect for them that they would have to travel through, and you can focus fire and arrow and ballista on the center area, basically, of the docks.
I actually, when we gather up the scum, I go around asking who's good with a bow or a sling or any kind of ranged weapon.
Yep, you're able to come up with a couple dozen people who that's their preferred weapon.
I go ahead and I let them know to set up on those hills near the docks, and anything that comes out of the water that looks disgusting and like a frog, they should shoot it with an arrow in the eye.
Okay. Alright. You start placing them there. A couple of them ask for what they'll get for payment, and Biffin smacks him in the back of the head and says, "Your life! Your fucking life!"
Biffin stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah. Okay. Alright,
Just out of curiosity, how many ballistas did we leave at the lockdown gate?
We left one ballista at each lockdown gate, so we took one ballista from each lockdown gate, except the one that was kind of broken. We left. I'll say we left both ballistas there, and we moved one from each of the other lockdown gates to the docks. So we've got two full-sized ballistas in the outreach to get a good crossfire, and I would say right down the middle in the middle hill we'll have two more medium-sized ballistas, or one more, however many we have left.
Okay, so you're able to... Alright, so if you leave two at the broken gate, and you leave two at the main gate, and one at all the others, you have two ballista to spare after you've put one on each corner of the docks. So you can put one in the middle, or both in the middle, or you can put one at the main entranceway, whatever you want to. You have two to spare.
I say we put one at the docks and we'll
Okay.
try to fit another one at the main entrance.
Another one at the main entrance.
Okay.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
You got it. All right. So there's 3 at the docks and 3 at the main entrance. Okay.
Yep.
That takes most of the rest of the day. I mean, it's you guys are working long into the evening. These ballista are massive. They're not, you know, they're not quite house sized, but they're close. They're huge ballista. All right. So it takes a lot to move them. But you guys rolled well in your strength checks, and you got a lot of people behind you, so that's what happens. All right. Back over to Euphemia and Elwin. It is now evening. It is 8 o'clock, bordering on 8:30.
Okay,
see
to the
all
magic
the-
shop we go.
Okay. And we saw everything that was happening at the docks, right?
Yes, yes. You were close. You were at the marketplace. You were able during that. I mean, so go ahead and roll me, both of you. Just roll me a straight persuasion check.
I'm all week.
All week. Okay. Between the two of you, you're able to recruit some of the people from the crafting district, some, you know, the stronger men, the blacksmiths and the dock workers. You're able to recruit them to start helping. They're definitely focused on repairing weaponry, on crafting more ballista bolts. The dock workers are helping fortify the area, the dock area. So you went over there and you talked to them, and you got definitely some involvement from those areas.
Actually, I send a runner over to Euphemia and Elwin and tell them, hey, see if you guys can tell the runner to tell them, hey, see if you guys can convince the alchemists to give us some acid flasks.
Okay. And just for the sake of time, we'll say that you're able to get some about a dozen flasks of acid
Good, because I was totally going to ignore that message.
from the alchemy area.
Alright, let's go to the magic shop.
Okay. You guys head back over to the Circle Market, and you find Callie's house of curios, books and curios. The light is on inside, and you see a little bit of smoke coming out of the windows as she's there puffing on a cigarette inside, and her feet are kicked up as she's leaning back in her chair. She has a book in front of her. She's wearing her spectacles, and she has a cigarette in one hand. Or not a cigarette, but it's like one of those long cigarette thingies that hold a cigarette at the end.
Hello again.
She raises her head, she looks over her glasses at you. Lady Drow, Euphemia. Kind of you to come. Do you have more gold to spend upon my wares?
I'm afraid the city is more in an uproar over defending from the upcoming attack than to buy stuff at this time.
Such a shame, such a shame. You and your friends had quickly become some of my more profitable customers. But what is this you say about the city?
Oh yes, the army that left just a day ago was sullenly defeated and is now on retreat back to the city with an army of sloth behind it.
And High Arcanist Moltor suggested that we come see you and ask you if you would help us defend the city.
You really shouldn't have mentioned him.
That's old coot. I suppose he would know. However, I am retired. My adventuring and warfaring days are behind me, and as you can see, I have set up shop. I live a peaceable life now.
Well, the city's about to be destroyed. So is your shop.
'Twould be sad indeed, but I am not without my contingencies.
No doubt, I bet you have a few shops in a few different cities.
And ways of getting my wares out of here quite quickly.
Is there
I would
anything?
too if I was in your position.
Elwin, what were you gonna say?
No, I'll let Euphemia take the lead. They're friends.
Well, as my other elven friend here is very interested, he wants to get you to help us and wonders what would it take to get you to actually join in the defense of the city.
She stands up, or she just kind of sits forward in her chair and she stretches a little bit, and she says, "These hands have not seen battle in so long. I wonder if I even could. What would it feel like to draw my sword again?" She pulls back her robe, and Euphemia, you've seen it before. The hilt of her sword. It's ornate, but not decorative. It's just obviously a very, very fine piece of weaponry. And she puts her hand on it, and you can see that her hand just rests on it in a very, very familiar grip. It's something that it's like coming across an old friend. Her hand just settles back in on the hilt of her sword, and she just holds it there for a second, and she glances and she looks down at it. She says, "The slaad, you say? I have experience fighting some of their sort. They are dangerous. They do not fare well. Magic users do not typically fare well against them. And they are quite deceptive. You should know this."
Most likely, I would assume that as a magic user myself, I would focus more on defensive and trying to fool them than direct damage attacks. Destroying the land that they on, or basically slowing them down, or helping out those that are fighting them is much more useful in our tactics.
"Tell me, lady, and sir, Euphemia, Elwin, if I may call you by your names,
Of course.
why do you fight? Why do you care about this city? Surely people of your power and abilities could flee and save yourself with great certainty."
Mostly to make gold, to spend at lovely shops like yours.
"And you, sir? Why do you fight?"
If I don't fight, there is no way that I can gain enough power to defeat the evil that befell this land.
So you seek the greater good.
Yes.
It is a noble
Bahamut
cause.
has shown me the way.
Bahamut.
How
Yes.
old are you, Elwin?
I'm young, 65.
Ah,
You're quite a bit older than
you're
me,
just a
Euphemia.
kid.
Okay, persuasion checks, both of you.
Euphemia basically looks a little, just, annoyed at his age.
Straight persuasion checks, no advantage.
Getting better.
She nods a little bit. She says, "Very well. I have no interest in seeing this city fall particularly, and it would be tiresome to have to relocate my shop. This is a quaint and quiet part of the world. I've grown fond of it. It is certainly less troublesome than other areas I have lived in. Very well. You shall see my sword and my magic on the morrow, when the invaders arrive."
Do you have anything that could help us in the coming battle? Personally?
That would depend on how much gold you brought with you.
I broke. I got 400 gold.
Well then, perhaps another time. You seem quite competent, as you are.
Oh, do you have any potions? Health potions, healing.
Unfortunately, that is not my forte. I deal in enchantments,
Oh,
not
yes.
in alchemy.
That's true.
I bid you
Oh,
adieu.
well.
I
I hope
have-
to see you in the battlefield.
Yes, you shall see me. I have some resting to do. Warfare is such tiresome work.
I do have to do that as well, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Well done, guys.
With that, I'm actually going to head back to the inn, and I'm going to take a long rest.
Deimos, is there anything else you wanted to do while you're out there?
No, honestly, I'm just gonna try to rest before this thing and commune with my god to see if he has any important things to say. Other than that, no.
Good deal. All of you eventually straggle your way back to your inn. Some later than others. Ajax and Balanar, you guys were working late into the night. It's well after midnight by the time you get back. You know, we're talking like 2 a.m. Deimos, you're also working long and hard to get the 15,000 people are a lot of people to make communication with and to move along. Some people you actually had to physically like grab and stand up and like shake some sense into them, but you were greatly successful in getting people to mobilize and enter the city from the outskirts. So you're all tired. It's late, but you all do get your long rest. Okay. The sun rises the next morning. You all awaken, and the sound in the inn is much different than it was even just yesterday. Gone are the pitter-patter of feet and the laughter and the jovial conversation. Instead, there's a tenseness to the air. There are whispers. There's anxiousness. You guys leave your rooms in the morning, and you look out to see. What was his name? Terrence, the innkeeper, and his teenage daughter Maddie, and his wife. They're all sitting in one booth, and they're talking to each other. They're whispering quietly. The daughter is leaning deep into her father. He has his arm around her, and she looks like she's emotional. Euphemia, and Elwin, you guys both have good hearing. You hear her crying a little bit and asking if they're gonna die today.
Probably.
You say that, and she starts sobbing even more. And the father looks up, and he looks annoyed at you. And he leans back into his daughter and is trying to comfort her.
What are you going to do to make sure she doesn't die?
He says, "I'm not a warrior. All I can do is pray. Pray
There's
and
more
hide."
than pray that you can ever do. So many people need help to fight the wars. People need water, food, comfort before the incoming battle. Do more than just pray.
What would you have us do, lady?
What did you say? My God.
All right. So Balanar, you're putting on war paint. Deimos, you give him the cat, so he's painting the cat as well. Any of you guys want to do anything else?
Well, I'm gonna get some food,
Okay.
and then shoot.
I'm going to get my horse.
The
I'll be
innkeeper
honing-
stands
honing
up.
my axe.
Oh, sorry. What did you say, Ajax?
I'll be honing my axe.
Okay. The innkeeper stands up and he says, to all of you that are there, he says, "I am not a brave man. I have lived a peaceful life, and I don't even own a sword."
I throw him a long sword because I am carrying a bunch of them, all
Okay.
two of them.
He holds it in his hand as like a foreign object to him. He says, "I will protect my family if I must." He says, "You all have been good customers. Might I ask if you could settle your tab today, perhaps? I'm not kicking you out of my inn, but perhaps if we
Yeah,
can
how much do we
escape."
owe you?
So he tolls it up. Between all of you, it's like in the area of 10 gold apiece. You've been here for a week and a half, so.
I just toss him a 10 gold over my shoulder.
I did too.
I give him 20.
He says, "Thank you. Thank you, my friends. It is a hard question to ask, but for my family's sake, I don't know who will be alive tomorrow."
Fair enough.
Okay. Alright, you guys move on out. Anything else you want to do?
Didn't we, for getting this cleric dude, didn't we get war horses?
Oh, from the king?
Yeah.
You had thought about it, but you never actually asked him.
Ah, damn it. Alright, fair enough. I'm gonna march to the king.
Alright, you guys head back to the palace. Okay. It's now about 8 o'clock in the morning after you guys had breakfast and your war paint is on and everything like that. You head back to the
We're riding back, right?
castle. Yeah, you can have your horses.
Yeah, we're
with you.
riding to the castle.
Yeah, you guys have your horses with you. You head back in there. You go to the war room, and the king. It looks like he didn't get much sleep last night. He says, "Friends, thank you for your help in the preparations. My men have been reporting to me. Much work was done, and we couldn't have done it without you. My thanks, my gratitude."
No problem. We just got one thing to ask you.
Speak.
We're gonna be fighting for these things, and we're a pretty kick-ass party. Let's be honest here. We brought you that cleric guy, and I know you said that you're gonna give us some war horses. So we were wondering if we could get some of those war horses, or if you don't have any of those, maybe some really sick-ass gear.
Magic items and weaponry, I have not much of. Just a few pieces of heirloom armor left down, passed from father to son in the royal line. However,
You want to get rid of it?
no, I'm afraid not.
Damn it.
However, horses I have. He waves over one of his servants and whispers to him. He says, "Follow Tristan here. He will give you the finest war horses in the city from my own stable."
I want a white one.
Okay, you guys go. I'm assuming that you leave your current riding horses that you brought with you, leave them in the stable, and you guys all now have powerful, of pure blood, purebred war horses.
Alright,
You have the sheet, right, for them too, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so Balanar, Ajax, Euphamia, Elwin. I don't know what you guys think, but I know apparently when you fight on top of like a really big wagon or a chariot, you get sweet ass bonuses. From my personal experience, would you guys want to make a sweet ass battle wagon and tie all of our horses to it?
No.
Come on.
Nope.
What do you want to do, Deimos? What's with the wagon?
Well, I'm gonna buy the best fucking wagon they have there.
Okay.
And I'm gonna I don't know, jimmy rig swords and whatever random crap that I have on me around it. Attach my war horse to it. Plank it up. Make it pretty much like a little war horse death wagon.
Okay.
If you're riding a war horse, though, you can charge an enemy, knock it prone. It gets a bonus attack of its own. Then you can do your attack, and then you can ride away from it.
Nah, that sounds more like actually playing a character right in this campaign, not fluff-wise.
Okay. So
But we got him as the DM. He's
part
gonna
of this
kill
war horse
him.
wagon.
Okay. So Luke and Deimos, you guys are doing that. So they have chariots that you can sort of build and start like jerry-rigging up. They have carriages, which are large carts, big, a great honking thing. They can carry 600 pounds. Or you can do a chariot.
I'd say we go with the chariot.
Alright. Yeah, we should probably just do the chariot
It's
then.
like a two-man
And wanna
chariot.
Yeah, and then want to like stick a bunch of I got a bunch of random swords and crap on me. We can like duct tape them and shit.
Okay, yeah. So you want to put them on the spokes of the wheel.
Spokes of the wheel on the, I don't know, the chariot itself. Shoot, I'll stick some on my horse. It's everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, just a bunch of spears sticking out the side of the chariot seems good.
All right. So you guys spend the rest of the
Good one.
morning. You grab some of the king's armor smiths and blacksmiths. He kind of chuckles a little bit. And he says, "Nice of you to introduce some levity into this very serious affair." And he gives you some of his blacksmiths, and you guys actually put together a pretty impressive death wagon.
I don't see what to find so funny about this. Deimos is
Balanar.
finding this kind of awesome.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go see if I can find some armor for my warhorse.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a great idea.
Okay. Now that
Can you actually get armor for the warhorse?
is
I think they have.
they do. It's called barding. So the way it works is you can put on a warhorse. You can put any kind of armor that people can wear, but it costs 4 times as much.
What about the stable? Is there any in the royal stable for the armor or the warhorses?
I'll say that for what you guys can purchase. So barding costs 4 times as much as normal armor.
We just look at the armor and multiply it times 4.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that like even like leather or anything would work okay on a horse.
Okay, so what I'll basically do for you guys, I'll basically say that they were able to equip all your horses with scale mail, the equivalent of horse scale mail.
So 14, or does it get dex bonus?
Yeah, the war horses have +1 dex, so they all have 15 AC.
I'm happy with that.
All right, and I'm gonna strap a shit ton of fireworks to my warhorse. That's a shit ton.
Okay.
You can use the fireworks on his horse. Mine will just take the armor. But it'll still be part of the chariot.
Okay.
But yeah, just a shit ton of them, and I'm gonna try to get a wick that comes all the way to the chariot.
Okay. All right. All right. We'll see how that plays out. Sure.
You said chainmail?
Scale mail.
Oh, scale mail.
All right. That takes up most of the morning. Any of you guys want to do anything else? Okay. As you guys are in the king's stables, getting acquainted with your horses, basically building a rapport along with them. Euphemia, you're getting in touch with your horse, learning how to ride her, learning her personality, that kind of stuff. And Deimos, Balanar, and Ajax, you guys are playing with your gear and building your chariots or whatever. Elwin, is there anything you wanted to do?
No, I'm just playing with my horse too.
Okay.
Petunia. That's her name.
Oh, cool.
I do ask for if they have any like healing potions or anything like that. Not asking for much, but just if they had a couple lying around that we could take.
Let's see what you guys have right now.
I don't
I'm
really
gonna
get it, but I
cast
was thinking the
polymorph
rest
and
of the
turn
party.
my horse into a dragon.
Yeah, I don't have any.
It doesn't work, Euphemia. You're able to change her into like a
I
small
know, I'm
dragon,
joking.
a baby. What are those things called? Like those?
Worm?
Not even those familiars that warlocks can summon.
Pseudo dragons.
Yeah, pseudo dragons.
Oh.
Yeah.
No idea what you're talking about, but okay. But I'm not gonna. I was joking.
Okay, Deimos, you have 3 potions of healing on you right now.
Oh,
Right.
they weren't really for me. I don't really want them, but I was thinking for the rest of the party because just in case I can't get to them to heal them.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take one.
All right. So you're
Yeah,
able.
if you can spare one as well.
You guys were able to scrounge up 4 more potions of healing from the king's personal stores. So I put them in the party sheet. So Ajax, on the top right, there's a party button, the very top right button. You open that, you go to the inventory tab, and you can basically see what's in the party sheet. If you guys want one, just go ahead and drag it from there into your inventory. Okay. All right. At that, did you get it, Ajax? You figure it out?
I'm trying.
grab the dragon image, and drag it to your inventory. You gotta open your character sheet, go to the inventory, grab the dragon over, and drop it in.
Grab that dragon.
There you go.
Got it.
Okay. About this time, you start hearing some commotion as guards and people start whispering and running around. They're back! They're back! We see riders on the horizon!
Wait, Balanar, are you in the chariot with me?
Yeah, it's a two-person ship.
I think Ajax was in the chariot.
It's me and Deimos is who it should be.
Okay, are you using a two-handed weapon or one-handed?
I'm using my axe, my great axe.
All right, never mind then. I'm
Okay.
taping the chariots to the thing too. I mean, the shields to the chariot.
You guys, okay. You guys make your way to the northeast entrance of the city.
Just a clarification, you're driving this thing.
Okay, yeah, I'll totally drive it.
And as you guys make it to that northeast entrance, you see on the horizon, and they're much closer now. By the time you get there, a ragtag group of soldiers as they start coming in, and over the next hour or so, the army starts to arrive in pieces in various units, and these guys are some of them are bloody, some of them are limping. Some of them are being drawn by horses, or are lying in the carts as they're being dragged by, pulled by horses, and they're starting to arrive. They're very battle torn. Some of them are missing limbs. You see a guy with a huge claw mark down his face, that's bleeding heavily. The army has arrived.
Hey, Euphemia, I don't know if you can do this or not, but can you sense any psychic energy or whatever it was that these frogs use in any of these guys?
I don't know. Can I, Mr. DM?
How would you try to do that?
Oh no, I
Well,
thought
I got
that-
this knife for poisoning, and I could probably cut them open and see.
That's a bad idea.
I
No,
don't know.
I just thought there was like if
we
you could
could-
use psychic spells that you could sense psychic little psychic communications and stuff like that. I don't know if you could or not in this game.
I think we have some clerics set up
Basically, all
to
I could do.
check them out.
The only things I can think of is I could use arcane to see if there's anything happening in that sense, or I could do a perception check or a medicine check, maybe? I don't know.
Okay,
To
give
check
me.
the wounds.
I look real hard.
Okay, all right, Deimos. So you're a cleric. You're watching, and there's a few that you see that seem like they are weakened beyond what their wounds would normally weaken them. So there's a guy with like a broken arm, but he's having trouble breathing, that kind of thing.
All right. Well, I kind of when they're coming through the gates, I pull those guys to the side.
Okay. One guy comes. He's coughing. What have you, sir?
Well, we need to check you guys out. You seem like you're injured pretty bad, and these sloth, whatever they're called, guys, they're tricky little motherfuckers. So we got to keep you over to the side. We got to get you checked out. We just want to make sure you don't infect any of the population. You get what I'm saying, right?
Okay. After a little bit of investigating on him, you see that he indeed has a slaad pathogen inside his body.
Do we see where Aelin set up the clerics and stuff?
Yeah, Aelin is in the area. His clerics are there, and you're able to point out basically the symptoms of this infection, this pathogenic infection, to his clerics, and he had them watching out for it. A simple lesser restoration seems to have done it to cure the basic disease that he has.
Alright, so yeah, I stick them all on that duty.
Okay, so they start watching out for that. As the soldiers start coming in, over the course of the next couple of hours, you see more and more arrive. But you know that about 4,000 left, what was it, 2 days ago? And a much lesser number has arrived back. Probably in the 2,500 area is what ends up coming through the gates.
Alright, well I guess once everybody's inside, we're gonna lock down that gate real bad. Well, real hard.
It takes a little bit of time, but as the bulk of the forces come through, you start seeing some more coming in, but you start hearing screams as well, and there are a few dozen slaad chasing them and harassing the back end of the army, basically. They're and you know, within eyesight of you, a couple of slaads jump out and pounce on a soldier as he's running. Another one leaps over and knocks over the horse that an officer is riding on, and then a couple more slaads descend on him. They're starting to draw near, guys. What are you gonna do?
Oh, I say to Deimos, who's driving this chariot, and say, "Well, let's go help these guys."
About how many soldiers are still outside the gate?
At this point, you're talking about 40 or 50. They're running now. They're on full-on sprint as fast as they can to the gate. There's screams and shouts, and the slaad behind them are quickly catching up. It's only a few slaad. There's only about a dozen of them. But they're rushing.
Okay.
They're getting closer now. Right now, they're about 60 yards away from you.
Are there any archers on the walls above?
There are.
Can we send a command to have them fire?
Okay. As they get within, they're waiting for them to really pull within range. But when they hit the 30-yard mark, or 90 to 100 feet, the archers on top start opening fire. The slaad some of the slaad fall, and the rest pull back.
Are they in range of the ballistas? Can I launch a ballista bolt at one of them?
Yes, you may. So that was Elwin?
No, it's Balanar.
Balanar. Okay, here. So, you should have a ballista sheet in front of you. Go ahead down at the bottom and roll me a ranged attack. Just double click the line where it says ranged attack. That's a hit. Okay. You can roll the damage too if you want. It's a red slaad.
Oh crap!
The bolt. You're standing on top of the wall and you're eyeing them as they come in, and you see them as they enter your range. You let loose with one of these large ballista. It blazes through the air, and sends a huge impact from where it contacts the ground. It skewers one of these red slaad straight through his chest, and you see him there, basically suspended in the air, hanging on this large iron arrow, twitching, his body twitching as it's gone straight through his chest. You shish kebabs him into the ground.
Nice.
Okay. With that, the rest of the slaad advanced party stops, glances up at the wall, then they pull back and they start running the opposite direction. Okay. You do notice that the general made his way back. He was one of the last to enter, but he was indeed there. And some quick debriefing, he tells you, "We were harried the whole way back. I left some men behind to slow their chase, but they must have fallen quickly. My men and I..."
Can we make sure?
Go on.
Can we make sure that one of the clerics are there looking at his wounds to make sure that he's not infected?
Yeah. He was not, but his first officer was. and they cast lesser restoration on him. He says, "There are many of them. I fear we have not much time. I pray that your defenses will hold." Okay? Battle stations, guys.
Hey guys, I know, sorry, bad timing, but my girlfriend doesn't understand the concept of I can't pause this, but she's been bugging me for like 20 minutes. I'll be back in like 3 minutes.
Okay, you guys want to take a break? Because the war is about to start. How about a 3-minute bathroom break?
Alright, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Helio.
See you guys back in 3 minutes. I'm gonna go
Okay.
hit it up also. Okay,
Alright, guys, I'm back.
So who
Same.
else here? Luke, are you here?
Luke, are you here?
Yes, sir.
What do you think so far?
I like it.
No fighting yet, but we like the role playing.
I'm fine with that.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. Elwin, you back?
I've been.
Balanar, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. You guys are basically waiting at the wall. The gates are... The last of the army is in. The gate is closed. You see some motion on the horizon. But nothing happens. Time goes by. 1 hour. 2 hours. 3 hours. You still see a little bit of motion far in the distance. But nothing's happening.
Does the motion look like it's moving?
You see some movement. But it's
Can we tell
so
how far away it is? Oh, okay.
It's so far away that you can't really tell what's going on.
What time is it?
By now it's mid-afternoon. It's 3 o'clock.
Alright.
I send a couple of runners from the military to go check the other gates and come back to us and let us know what's happening.
Okay.
And the dogs as well.
And the docks as well.
Okay. About half an hour goes by, and finally word gets back to you guys that all is quiet. There's a tense silence across the city. Another hour goes by. 4 hours. 5 hours.
Alright, I make sure every station and stuff, and there's plenty of torches to go around.
Okay. The sun is setting. It's dusk. A full 7 hours after the army arrived, you're finally able to make out in the light of the setting sun movement that's a little bit closer now. You're still talking half-mile away from the city, but your eyes are finally able to make out hundreds of slaad as they've moved into position and stopped a half-mile out from the city. Hundreds of them.
How many are there around us, soldiers? Like in our section of the wall and gate?
Where you guys are right there, you got about 200 guys.
Okay. About the same at all the other gates, or?
The other gates are lesser. You're talking 50 people per other gate.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we sent out runners, or to all the other gates, just to let them know that there's people approaching from our gate, and to send word as soon as they can if they see any approaching from their gate.
Okay.
Or dock.
Okay, the message goes out. At this point, the king, who's been out there the whole time with you guys, says, I'm afraid I must retire for the evening. It seems that they are going to either wait for a night attack, or they're going to wait for the morrow. Either way, I have not slept in over a day. I must retire.
I'm gonna ask him. I'll be like, hey, I know we're gonna get attacked here, and it's highly dangerous, but this is actually a perfect time for an assassination attempt. And all this confusion and stuff like that. Is there any possible way you can somewhat sleep around here where we can always wake you as soon as things happen, and at least protect you?
He looks around, he says, I suppose. I will move my royal contingent over to this this larger establishment over here. So he points, if you guys are looking at the map, the king is going to stay in this, basically, housing development area here. He says, it is wisdom that you speak. Okay, so he goes back in his court. They move over there. Another hour goes by. It's now full-on nighttime. The sun has set. You guys can't really see out into the dark. The High Arcanist Moltar Bennot comes your way and says, not as exciting as we might have hoped for, I see.
Alright. How far do fireworks shoot? Use them as flares.
Yeah, they'll launch up into the sky. Pretty high.
Right, I'm going to start firing some off just as flares.
Okay.
Just to see farther, because I don't have Euphemia vision, or I think Elwin, and maybe even Ajax too. Maybe I'm the only one who can't see in the dark.
Oh, my friend.
I have the best vision out of everyone.
The Arcanist waves his hand over your eyes, Deimos, and he casts a spell, that night vision spell, that allows you to see at nighttime.
Oh, that works too. Thank you.
Well, how
only but to ask.
Can I get that too? I can't see in the dark.
Of course. He waves his hand.
How far does night vision let you see?
You guys can see as if it were daytime, but the color is gone. It's like black and white.
What about
Is there
cats?
is there a range like 120 feet or something?
Well, in realistic situations, people can see a lot farther than 120 feet. But you can't make out much detail. But you guys can see full out to where the slaad encampment is. You can see them. You can tell that they're still out there. And as he casts a spell and you guys look out in distance, you can actually see that they've actually inched closer. They're, about a third of a mile away, but they seem to be stopped.
All right. All right, guys. Well, it was great fighting with you. I hope we make it through this, because making it to the next level would be pretty damn sweet. We want to do anything before they probably try to destroy us?
Maybe you can pray to Tempest and he can bless us.
All right. I sit my ass down and I start praying to Tempest.
Okay. As you do that, you guys look back as you hear the roar of an explosion behind you. And over at this place where the king set up his residence, one of the buildings is engulfed in flame.
Oh man, I totally called it.
Crap.
All right. Hey, Ajax and everyone else that's not here today. Speaking, stand guard because you're smarter than these people.
Okay.
We'll take a look.
Okay. You guys rush back to the king's area. There's a bunch of soldiers outside beating out the flames. You run inside, and he had set up in one of the larger buildings a temporary a living quarter here, and let me screw around with this map a little bit. One second.
I'm gonna spend a sorcery point and give myself resistance to fire.
Okay. Go ahead and take it on yourself. Give me 1 second.
Do we see the king or anything?
You guys rush into. Wait, go on.
I'm just going to use my infernal thing to give myself the resistance to fire.
Okay. Go ahead and add
The health resistance from the tiefling.
1 second here. I wasn't planning on you guys having the king stay so close, so I had set up this fight for his throne room. So I gotta change the map a little bit. Okay, that's it.
Just out of curiosity, how long do these sessions usually last?
3.5 hours is our average,
Sounds good, I was just curious.
but we've been known to go shorter or longer depending on what's happening in the story.
Cool.
Okay. So that's in there. Okay. So I'm jerry-rigging this slightly. But this is going to represent the residence that the king had basically commandeered for himself and for his court. As soon as it finishes preloading for you guys. Let me set up this battle map. Can you guys see that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
see
it's
the
loading.
people.
It's loading.
Map is still loading? Yeah, sorry about that. I had the other one loaded up for you guys.
This place looks very familiar.
It's actually slightly different, but I'm recycling this. I don't have a good king token. I'll use that guy. Man, it's taking forever to load. My internet must suck right now.
Oh, it just popped up for me.
I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah,
loading.
for me too.
Okay, you guys got it?
No,
No,
not,
not me,
not yet.
not yet. Okay.
Not Ajax.
Oh, sorry about that, guys.
There we go.
Euphemia, do you have it?
Yeah, I had it a while ago.
Okay.
You know, when I said it looked familiar.
Oh, that makes sense. Balanar, you have it? Or who doesn't
Balanar,
have
you
it?
have it? Or who doesn't have it yet?
Got it.
Yeah, I have it.
Okay. Alright, you guys walk into this scene. The king is this guy up on the bed in far top right. He has a couple of guards around him, and there are two huge red slaad circling around him. Down on the ground is another slaad. He's standing on the corpse of another guard, his claws dripping with blood, and actually this guy will be up here. Up closer to the king is over that banister is one that you have not seen before. This one is much more toad-like. He's hunched over. He has horns on the top of his head like a horny toad. He's carrying a wooden staff, actually. He looks at you all with an intelligence behind his eyes that you had not recognized in some of the more bestial forms. Okay?
Does he also have that pet monkey?
Yeah, the monkey's sitting on his back. Okay?
Spare the monkey, I want it.
You guys burst into the room. I want everybody to roll initiative.
Not bad for my first initiative roll.
Okay. Beginning of the initiative, this first red slaad, he looks at the guard, and this guard right in front of him, and he tears into him with his claws and with his teeth. Oops. There we go. So that's 12 damage onto the guard. He gives him both attacks, and the guard is bleeding heavily. He has a chunk torn out of his chest as you see the blood gushing forward, and he stumbles down to his knees. Balanar, you see this happening as you charge into the room. What do you do?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and sling a javelin at that red slaad that's attacking people.
Okay,
I'm gonna actually, first of all, I'm gonna move to about right here,
go for it.
and then I'm gonna sling a javelin at him.
Okay, and Elwin, you're next. So go ahead and roll the attack. That is a hit.
And I'm gonna actually sling another javelin at him to get another attack.
Yes, you do. The second one, the first one crunches him in the back. As he spins around, he's able to sidestep around the second one as it flies over his shoulder.
That's my turn.
Okay. Go ahead, end your turn. Elwin, you see your
Okay,
friend do that? What do you do?
I'm gonna step up these 10 feet. I'm gonna spend a sorcery point on Twin Spell.
Mhm.
And as I point my wand of the War Mage, 2 balls of green, like almost foaming poison shoot out of the wand. And one of them's gonna attack Slaad.
Okay.
And miss. And the other one's gonna go for the green one.
And that would be a hit.
That's a pretty
Nice.
good damage roll.
Nice. Yeah, the poison energy flies out and engulfs him, and you can see him shrink back in pain. You guys hear the reverberations of his scream in your mind, echo in your mind. Ajax, it's your turn.
Okay, let me think here. I'm gonna move forward and then throw a hand axe at him.
Okay. So go ahead and move your character and then target the guy you're aiming at. Okay.
How do I target again?
Control click.
Here, give me a moment. I think I have to fix something.
Okay. Which guy you're aiming at? If you mouse
If you
over them,
mouse
you can
over
see
them,
which
you
one they are.
Number 1.
Okay. So I'll target you for you right now. Go ahead and roll your attacks. The first hand axe flies out. That would be a hit. Maybe you're lagging or something, because you're targeted right now. Go ahead and roll damage.
Did you get that damage?
No, I don't see damage. Okay, there you go. Oh, alright, 1 second here.
Whoa, why are you throwing it at me?
Yeah, why did you throw it at Elwin?
I didn't mean to. That was not my fault.
Okay, here, I'll put it on number 1.
Number 1 is your aiming at?
Yeah, I was aiming at number 1.
Okay, it hits him for 7 damage.
I think I messed up in TeamSpeak when I put my... I'll just fix it in TeamSpeak and then I should be able to target.
Oh,
your push to talk was control, wasn't it?
Yes, I'll fix that.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead and roll your second attack and damage. And Deimos, you're coming up soon.
I think I fixed it.
Okay.
Am I still
We are-
targeting the guy?
Yes, it says so on the combat tracker. That's a hit also. 2 quick hand axes flick out. They both embed themselves into his torso. Okay. And if you're done, you can end your turn, or you can take a bonus action if you have anything.
I don't have anything, but how do I end my turn?
So on the combat tracker on the bottom left, there's a little down arrow.
Press that?
Yep. This guard right in front of the slaad, who's dripping with blood, lashes out with his Morning Star. He connects and is able to at least... Oh, with the slaad turned around, he actually gets a good hit in and plugs him in the back. You hear the slaad, like some bones crack as he arches his back. and reels with the blow. Deimos, your turn.
All right, I'm gonna sprint full speed ahead up to here using my movement and my action. And I do get my bonus action though, right?
Yes.
All right, and with my bonus action, I'm gonna cast a spiritual weapon.
Okay.
On slaad number 1.
Okay.
I'll give her misses, but still be there.
Okay,
And
a floating weapon appears, glowing with radiant energy. It flies around him. It swings, but he deflects it off of his tough hide.
and that's
Euphemia.
me. Yeah.
Euphemia, they have one of the things that you learned from the dissection that Moltor Ben-Not did was that they have a multiple array of senses. They don't need their eyes to see, basically. So in technical terms, slaads have 60-foot dark vision and 30-foot blind vision. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a chain token. Okay.
Oh no, I was just saying because later on I might want to try to use it to wrap up stuff.
Gotcha. Okay. As you guys are attacking in, the green who's been standing in the corner there and has already been hit by one of Elwin's magic bolts. You see his wounds heal up a little bit, Elwin, as he comes around on his turn. He leans at you, he glares at you all, and you hear his presence in your mind. It's not coherent thoughts, he's not really communicating with you, but you feel it. You feel the anger, you feel the frustration at you guys thwarting his assassination mission here, basically. He spins around, and he targets you, Ajax, and he raises his hand and he hurls a big burst of fire that soars out at you, and it misses.
At me or at guard 2?
I don't know why.
Was that a spell or just an ability?
It's an ability. It's called Hurl Flame. He tosses another one with his other hand. There we go. And the burst of flame goes out and licks around you. But at your tiefling state, you resist half of the fire damage. This red slaad here is going to double up on this guard.
So is that damage automatic into my wounds?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. As he lays into this slaad, he crits him. This guard, he crits him with his bite attack.
Better him than us.
Yeah, this guard dies. Falls to the ground dead as this huge hulking red slaad just rushes in and slashes him. Now these guys are, you guys have seen two different kinds of slaad, the reds and the blues, and now the green. The reds are definitely more sleek. They're more cat-like in their movements. They lean over, they're more limber, and they're faster. The blues were definitely more massive and bulky. He's going to use his last attack coming in on this guard, and he tears his throat out. The guard falls down to the ground, gurgling blood. This guy is going to charge forward, and since you're closest, Ajax, he's going to try to bite you. He misses. He's going to swing with his claws twice, and miss horribly. So you see him coming, and you parry all of his attacks, deflecting them with your battle axe and spinning around them. Euphemia, it's your turn. Okay.
Just gonna run in and swing twice at this guy.
Alright. Roll the attacks. That's a hit. You cut into him with your sword the first time. The second time, he's able to duck under it.
And I'm gonna sing a inspiration for Ajax.
Okay, Ajax, you have 1d8 of bardic inspiration.
And that is to be used when you get hit, so you don't go berserk and try to kill us all.
Yeah, you can use it to increase your armor, your attack, your damage, or add it to a saving
No,
throw.
he can only use it for the saving throw, so to not kill us.
Well, I will keep that in mind.
Okay. So it's this guard's turn. He comes up, he runs up to the back of this slaad, and he is going to... Oops. He's going to take a swing at this guy with his Morning Star. Hits. Cracks him in the back. The slaad's going to spin around and lay into him. His mouth opens wide, and you can see his jaw almost distend as it clamps down on the top of the guard's head. And it's locked on there. The guard just is staying there, screaming and howling bloody murder as the slaad is basically eating the top of his head. Balanar, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here next to the slaad by Ajax.
Okay.
Gonna stare it in the eyes and let out a draconic roar and insult it in draconic.
Okay.
Enrage. And I'm
Alright.
also gonna reckless and then take a swing at it with my vicious greatsword.
That would hit. There's the damage, okay? The
And as
first one
I-
strikes true.
As I swipe down at it, I kind of like turn the sword the opposite direction and swing straight up at it again.
That's a
And
miss.
miss.
Okay. He was
Actually,
so
I put
pushed
the
back by
damage
that
on
first
the wrong,
blow.
at the wrong one.
You're on 3. Okay, I'll add that to him. So it's 15 damage. It's no, that's 3. You did the right one.
No, I hit 1, I think. No, yeah, never mind. I know
You
what
got
I
it.
did.
You're good. Okay, end your turn. Elwin, what are you gonna do?
Okay, for my move, I'm gonna move. Oh. That's 30 feet.
Okay.
Bonus action, I'm gonna cast Misty Step.
Okay. It's another 30.
Why did the king have to get the only bedroom that was like longer than a football field?
The 30 right there. And then I can only cast a cantrip, right? Since I already cast one spell.
Correct.
I will go ahead and cast Frostbite. Oh no, that's a save. Never mind. I'm gonna cast Firebolt. At slot 1.
That misses.
Yes, that's my turn.
All right, Ajax.
I'm thinking I should probably swing at this thing with my great axe.
All right, unload on him. Hit.
Actually, you should have advantage because of Totem of the Wolf.
Yeah. Did you apply that thing to him? Apply that thing to the slaad. Balanar.
It does.
Oh, yeah.
Slaad 3 does have it.
Okay, it should be. Roll damage, Ajax.
Oh, it's because he's targeting the other one.
Oh, here, let me fix your targeting real quick.
I just did that, so.
Okay, so you're targeting slot 3. Go ahead, roll damage.
You should actually roll the advantage to see if you crit.
Okay, roll one more d20. Okay, roll damage. That hits. Now you're gathering that you have advantage right now, so and you're hitting pretty easily. These are large beasts. You do have that great weapon fighting feat if you wanted to use it.
I'm gonna hold off on that and just swing with the axe again.
Okay. You should have advantage. Roll it again. I don't know why it's not giving it to you. Okay, that's a hit. And there you go. You land
So
two
You
that's
land
damage
two
solid
level.
solid blows.
What did you say?
So that's the best damage I've rolled.
Yeah, very good. Okay, Deimos, your turn.
Alright, I am going to charge into this guy. Oh, shoot, actually, do I want to? Fuck. I lied, I'm going to charge into this guy.
Okay.
Because I gotta protect El Kingo. I'm
I
going to
was-
swing at him.
I was gonna head that way to stand in front of the king.
Yeah, I just don't know how much health the king has, so... so I'm going to punch him.
Okay. You connect. That's a pretty good hit.
And then my spirit weapon attacks the other guy.
Alright. Roll damage for that. That's a hit as well.
Then I gotta add a d8 to this one after the end, because it's the next level up.
That's another 2 to that. Okay.
And then with my feet, I'm gonna grapple slaad number 2.
Alright. Contested strength check. Why did you have advantage on that?
I have my... When they were casting the Resistance of Fire, I casted Give Me Bigger Muscle spell
Okay.
on me.
Got it. Got it. Okay. You lean in and you with your the hand that has your shield wrapped around it. You holding your shield. You basically wrap that around his neck and shoulder and pull him off balance, and he's now being held in place by you. Okay, the green is going to leap up onto this bed, and you start hearing him mutter some odd, slottish gurgling in the back of his throat. As he raises his staff, you see it flash with red flame.
I'm gonna prepare counterspell.
Okay, because he's casting Fireball.
I cast counterspell.
Alright, yeah, it's a 3rd level spell. It automatically fails. Alright, and as it glows with red flame, Elwin, you saw it happening. You flick your hands real quick and you mutter the arcane words, and it quenches the fire right at the tip of his staff. That's his turn. Slot number 2 is going to... He's wrapped up by you, Deimos. He's going to try to bite you. He misses. He's going to try to swing at you with his claws. That one's a hit. And you make a Constitution save, which you succeed. He swings at you one more time with his claws and misses. This slot over here is going to turn to you, Euphemia. And he's going to try to bite you and swing at you with his claws. Man, I can't really saw that. I rolled a 1, a 5, and a 2. Alright, Euphemia, your turn.
You know it's a good night when the
So remind me, on the burst or sprint, is that an action?
Yes.
And disengage is an action.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Okay, I'm going to sprint all the way over here.
Okay. As you do, slot number 3 is going to swing at you with its claw. That's a hit. It basically scratches you in the back as you run by. And you fail the Constitution save. Okay, it's your turn. Anything else you're going to do?
Yeah, I'll do another bardic inspiration for Balanar.
Okay. He didn't use the last one.
No, she gave
It's
it
an
to
It was
Ajax.
Ajax.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
So now Balanar has one.
Got it.
So when I use that, do I just roll another d8, or is there a specific way I use the bardic
Just roll the
inspiration?
d8.
Just roll.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. This guard is gonna... He's in a frenzy now after seeing his 2 friends just go splatter behind him. He's encouraged seeing that you guys are in the room. He swings at the slaad and misses. The guy's gonna spin around, and on his turn, you guys can see the wounds healing up and he cuts the guard down. Poor guard. He never really had a chance, I don't think. And with that, the slaad is going to leap forward at the king. Deimos, I'll let you get attack of opportunity as he passes by you.
Alright.
Does magical weapon get a
It does not.
attack of opportunity?
Oh, that's a hit, Deimos. Okay, you crack him in the back of the head as he runs by. The slaad is going to attack the king. You're going to try to bite him. That'd be a hit. For 8 damage, and he's going to claw at the king. Fortunately, the king is wearing his armor. He didn't take it off, so that's a miss. Balanar, your turn.
Okay, Balanar as a barbarian starts singing praise to Tempest and lifts his sword straight up into the air and comes down for another reckless attack on the slaad in front of him.
Alright. Let's see what that looks like. Nice.
And then I'm going to turn the sword backwards again and try to swing straight up, trying to like gash him across the chest with it.
Okay. And that strikes true.
I get the +7 to that one.
Yes, you do, so go ahead and add +7 to your modifier in the bottom left. Huge damage. Okay.
And then I
Huge
roar in his face, kind of like laughing at him.
Alright, you see the slaad taken off his feet a little bit. He's, as you thrust that sword straight up into him, it skewers him. It's like punching out his back, and you're in his face roaring. The slaad is definitely shaken. Elwin, what are you doing?
Okay, since I'm gonna cast, I'm gonna use 2 sorcery points for quicken spell.
Okay.
And the spell I will quicken will be Blight, and I'm gonna cast it at the slaad that's attacking the king.
Alright, roll it. He fails. See, necrotic damage. Okay, describe.
I need it.
Describe what that looks like.
Just some dark purple energy flows out of my wand and envelops the slaad, and it just dries up and it falls looking like a dried up frog.
Yep, twitching on the ground, his leg just like kicking back and forth. The king glances at you with gratitude in his eyes as he nods. All right, very nice.
I'll move there, and I will cast Firebolt.
Okay, that's a hit.
I didn't apply it to him, huh?
I don't know why it didn't apply to him.
Oh, I forgot to target.
Okay,
There we go.
all right, there you go. Okay, good, very good. Ajax, it's your turn. So this guy, he's got a great sword up through his chest, and a firebolt just slams in the side of his head. He's looking pretty rough.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing at him. My targeting option won't come up.
It's up. You're targeting him.
Okay, I didn't realize. I thought I had to do it each turn.
Oh, no. You're always targeted. That is a hit. Alright.
Second swing.
Okay. That's a
You
natural.
should
That's a
have
natural 1.
He should
That's
still have advantage on that.
That's true. That's true. So go ahead and roll one more attack. That's a hit. Okay, he has 1 hit point left, so go ahead and roll the damage. why is that not doing damage to him? It's
I
really
have
weird.
I have a feeling Fantasy Grounds is a little buggy tonight.
Really weird. Okay, so he's there. Balanar is skewering him with his greatsword. Elwin just plugged him in the side of the head with a firebolt, and you whip your sword around and bring it down across him. What happens? Or your great axe. What happens with the great axe?
How much negative did I go on him?
You went over by about 10.
I decapitate him.
Okay. His slaad head topples off as you lop it off. It's not a super clean cut. There's a lot of tearing involved as well, as chunks of flesh fly out, and you hack through the spinal column that's supporting his head. The head hits the ground and it flops over a couple times as the energy carries it across the room. Very
And
nice.
then-
Very nicely done.
For my movement,
What you gonna do? Okay. Go ahead and end your turn. Deimos, looking at you.
Alright, well, as my action, I'm gonna pin the bastard to the ground.
Okay.
Or at least attempt to.
Yeah, you do that.
I'm gonna pin the motherfucker down.
You're smothering him like he's face down and he's like pinned completely.
He's tapping out already.
Yeah, he's tapping out. You hear him screaming. He's like squirming underneath you. This little pathetic whimper.
Alright, and then as my bonus action, I'm gonna use it to move my spirit weapon, because I guess that's how it works in this.
Yep.
And it will, it's gonna restrain him. Is it possible to help, like, wrap around him instead of doing damage?
Yeah, we'll say that. Okay, so this guy is pinned. Yeah, he's grappled. He's restrained. He's the full works.
I'm gonna wrestle him.
All right, so he's restrained. He's grappled, and you're grappled too because I keep forgetting to do that.
Yeah.
All right. The green slaad's turn. He's amazed that two of his this obviously superior species of slaad have just fallen so easily to these.
Isn't it 3?
Well, 2 have fallen. The third one's still up.
There's 4.
Yeah, he's just. You see some shock on his face, and he lifts up his staff, and he's going to. He's not ready to run yet. He's gonna cast Hurl Flame at
I'm gonna
Elwin.
attack him.
Okay, this is not a spell. This is his it's a natural ability. It's like a range attack basically. Oh, that hits
I
Elwin.
should read his staff.
Yeah, it just comes from the tip of his staff. He throws it at Elwin. Okay,
I
so
just puff out my chest and drink it all in.
okay. The second one will hit because he does not have disadvantage on it. His first roll was an 18. Okay, so 2 it's basically like a firebolt cantrip, but it's not the cantrip. 2 bursts of flame lob in your direction, and they both land on you. Okay. This red slaad, he's completely grappled, completely restrained Deimos. He's going to try to break it. And he rolls a natural 2, so don't even bother contesting it, because he's completely pinned. He's crying like a baby tadpole. Euphemia, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna attack him with my sword.
Alright. You hit solidly.
Why did I have advantage?
Why do you advantage?
Because you have the green slot restrained and grappled.
That's right. I put the restrained and grappled on the wrong. You hit anyway. Just go ahead and roll damage. Yeah, I put it on the wrong one.
He's not doing any concentration on any spells, is he?
He is not. Not right now. Okay, you're cutting into him. You're tearing him apart as parts of his green flesh are starting to fly everywhere.
And that's everything.
All right. Balanar, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw one of my hand axes at. Actually, I'm gonna throw both my hand axes at the green slaad.
Okay. First one sails high and embeds itself in the wall. Second one connects. Okay.
And then I'm gonna move to about here.
Got it. Elwin.
As soon as I start to get a little disoriented and like my image, and I split into two, with my cloak coming back into power.
Yep.
And I will spend a second level spell slot to attack the green slot with a chromatic orb.
Alright. Target it and roll it. That hits. He shrieks in pain. A lot more pain than you felt by being hit by his fire. The poison is obviously taking its toll on his body. Ajax. Ajax?
Ajax?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
You see Deimos grappling one down to the ground. Alright, you run over to Euphamia, you leap over the railing.
And then I will, for my first attack, I will do a distracting strike on it.
Go ahead and target him. Okay.
So would I roll for my hit first?
Yeah, you have to hit first.
I don't.
That misses.
That misses.
Second attack.
That's a natural 20.
That's a critical.
Yeah. So now you can use the distracting strike if you want. Go ahead and add the damage, and click on the other effect as well to grant disadvantage or grant advantage against someone who else attacks him. All right, and roll your weapon damage.
Roll it again for the crit.
Just click. It'll automatically throw the crit on.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Jesus, wow.
Nice. Yeah, so you rush up there, and you see this guy heavily engaged with Euphemia, and you bury the head of your great axe, and it's this vicious-looking, jagged great axe that you pulled off of an orc warrior. You plunge it straight down, and it cleaves his shoulder, and it's embedded in his torso. He screams, with his screams reverberate off the walls as the sickening squish of your axe embeds itself into him. Okay. Anything else?
No, I passed my turn.
Okay. Deimos.
Alright, I'm a suplex him.
Okay. That'll take your action. Go ahead and roll. Jeez, what's with you in the 20s, man? Okay. Roll 4d8 since you crit him. And we'll add your strength bonus to it.
Okay, sorry, 1 second. Keeps dropping it.
Okay, those are d10s, but
Those are... Sorry, wrong one.
It's fine. It's fine. Plus 5, so that's 22 damage. As you suplex this guy, Zangief style, over your head and crunches his body into the ground behind you.
All right, and then I'm gonna have my chains that are wrapped around him to tighten, I guess, for damage.
Okay, yeah, I think he has to roll an attack though.
Does he get advantage? Just wondering. Actually, I don't really care either way.
Yeah, and he's grappled, so it'll. Yep, hit. Yep, it constricts, and you can see his eyes bulging a little bit with the pressure.
Plus, he gets one more D8 just because it's the next level up.
Got it.
And then I'm going to use my War Priest thing to turn my bonus action into another action, and I'm gonna suplex him backwards. Again.
Alright, roll the athletics. Yeah, that's a big hit. So 2d8 plus your modifier. 6 plus 6, 12. Another 12 damage to him.
That's me.
Okay, he's not very happy as you. Yeah, I think Zangief actually has a super like that where he double suplexes someone.
That's what I was thinking. I played it earlier today.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. This guy here, he's embedded on your axe. He's going to raise his hands and he's going to cast a spell. He's going to try to cast invisibility on himself.
Counterspell. He's not running
Now I'm
away.
gonna attack.
Okay. Invisibility fails again, so go ahead and mark off your spell slot, Ajax, Elwin.
Yeah,
And
got it.
Euphamia, you get a reaction attack. That crits. Okay, yeah, you lop off the hand that he tried to cast invisibility with. This guy is completely thwarted. Deimos, this guy underneath you, he's going to try to escape. Alright, he rolls a 13 for his strength check. Just go ahead and give me contested for that. Yep, you're fine. Euphemia, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'm just going for the kill.
Okay. Alright. He's almost down. That would hit also. Alright, describe what happens.
I'm just going to cut off his other hand and then dissect him.
Okay. You cut him right down the middle, like the frog that he is. Dissection.
So just to make sure I understand, the advantage I implied with my distracting strike was applied to her reaction attack.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Okay. Balanar, it is your turn.
Do I have enough movement to get there?
Yeah, we'll say you do.
Okay. So I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna keep singing my my song, "The Tempest," as a barbarian. I'm gonna again lift my greatsword straight up into the air and go for a reckless attack on him.
Okay. This guy is not. You guys are critting like mofos. Holy cow. Alright, so get your +7.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Then I'm gonna actually pull the greatsword back and thrust it straight into his chest.
Okay. Yep, that hits also as well. Okay, and with that, and that's he's so low on height on life anyway. We'll say that as you plunge your sword deep into his chest, it connects with the core of his frog heart, and you feel it burst as your sword pierces through it. The life oozes out of his eyes, and he goes limp.
As he's dying, I kind of like kick him off my sword.
Okay, very nice. All right, very nicely done.
And
you
I
guys.
loot the green frog's staff.
Okay,
I
it's-
make sure that these humans that are on the ground aren't infected, and if they were, I make sure that they're super dead.
They're dead. They're dead. The green frog has a wooden staff with some frogs, and like swamp weed tied around it.
What about the monkey?
The monkey? You want
Yes,
the monkey?
yes, I
the
want
monkey
the monkey.
is standing there looking completely confused.
Really,
wait,
I could have sworn
I
when
got
I
something.
dissected the frog, I accidentally cut the monkey's head off.
He's missing a quarter of his tail.
Oh, you bastard.
His,
That's okay.
I'm
I
gonna
ta-
give. I have a potion of animal-friendly stuff. You can use that to tame him.
Oh yeah, that'll work.
Okay, so the monkey's freaking out. His tail is like giving little spurts of blood. Balanar, there's a or whoever wants it. There's a potion in the party tab now. If you wanted to go grab that,
Did the green frog have anything else on him, or just the staff?
just a staff. They don't have a lot of possessions. They don't have a lot of weapons.
Okay, I'm gonna use that potion on the monkey, and I'm also gonna be nice and give him my potion of healing to heal his tail. Show him that I like the monkey.
Okay. Okay. Let me just see here. When you drink this potion, you can cast an animal friendship spell. This spell lets you convince a beast that you mean no harm. Yeah, you are friends with this monkey. He's grateful at the healing. He was terrified at obviously what happened to his former master, but he looks at you and you're obviously much stronger. Definitely a much more of an alpha than his former master was, and he becomes your friend.
Nice. Got a pet
Sweet.
monkey now.
We got 2 pets in the party.
He's totally tired, totally wiped out. He just kind of like, where do you want to keep him? What do you want to do with him?
He could sleep on my shoulders.
Okay, you just drape him over your shoulders, and he just like conks out. All right,
I'm gonna go check out that staff.
it's a piece of wood. It's a quarterstaff.
Where do the blue frogs, where they pop out from?
They burst out of your chest.
Alright, I go up to Euphemia and I stare very closely at her boobs. Do I notice anything?
I'm gonna hit him
Roll perception with
with the
advantage.
end of my sword.
1 second. I gotta roll my perception first.
That's an attack. What did you roll an attack for? Oh, that's Euphemia rolling attack. You just crit your... Dude, you just crit your advantage check again.
Yep.
Okay,
I mean, it's 1 in 10 chance, so...
Yeah,
I mean,
you-
it's technically 1 in 13, but whatever.
Holy crap. You see everything.
Oh,
Everything you might want to see.
do I have to make a constitution save to not throw up, or...
She is infected.
Euphemia, you are infected. You're
God
welcome.
fucking damn it!
You're welcome that Dr. Deimos is here. I'm here to help you.
Oh, she finally hit you.
The power of
Roll
Torm.
damage. Okay, so she smacks you with her sword.
Ow. What the fuck? I'm just trying to save you.
While they're over there doing that, I'm gonna turn around and ask the king if he's okay.
The king's a little
I-
bit shaken.
Oh, I explained to Euphemia, but like, hey, I mean, we've been together for a while now. I just really rather not have you die again. Is it okay if I save you? I see that you're angry about this, but I'd rather not have you die.
There's the other priests out on the street. I was just gonna have one of them do it.
No, Euphemia. Trust me on this one. They got more important things to deal with the lesser people.
I don't want you
Let me
anywhere near
do
my
it.
breasts. Let's put it
All
that
right.
way.
1 second. So, I'll be like, oh shit, the king's awake.
The king is awake.
As I point.
So what are you doing?
Euphemia, what are you doing?
I'm watching you, you bastard.
Alright, I grapple her boobs as I cast Lesser Restoration.
Check out the spell. For the sake of...
I resist.
yeah,
I
yeah.
resist it.
Okay, she spins away, but you're able to at least make contact with her shoulder, and in that brief contact, the spell flashes and it cures the disease.
Damn straight.
Okay, Euphemia, you're cured. All right. The king is a little bit shaken, he says. Elvard, that thing, and he's pointing in the corner where the corpse of the green slaad is. That thing was Elvard. He was my steward. And he's a little bit shaken. We were
It was
settling
probably
down
an
for the
illusion.
evening.
Your steward is probably dead.
We were settling down for the evening. My steward was here. He was bringing me my some hot water for my evening tea. But the look on his face was different, and before my eyes he changed. His form changed, and he became that hideous monstrosity.
As I said, it was probably an illusion.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks like they all infiltrated. This could have been, this whole thing could be set in motion by the people trying to get you out of power. That's just me thinking, though.
He says, I
I
believe...
agree with Deimos.
Didn't you guys say that one dude, Arthur Brooks, already sent the slaads to burn a village or something like that? Did
No,
that
that's some
happen?
orcs.
Oh, orcs. Oh, never mind.
But I am just
No,
saying,
that
though,
was the Griffin Riders.
yeah, right now, the only one who's really not in danger on your council or whatever it seems like is Arthur Brooks, and it seems that this place is getting attacked. Well, he's not there. So if this place goes to shit, then it looks like he'll have a free reign to take over.
He says,
I don't know about
Words.
that.
your words have credence.
I think Arthur Brooks wants the city. Destroying the city doesn't really sound like a profitable.
Well, I mean, if
venture.
he's controlling these guys or somewhat influencing where they go, after they take the city down, they'll move on, and then you can come back and take it over. But you're also
Unless
probably
Arthur
right, too.
Brooks is a slug, I mean, he's not going to be able to make money off of a city full of frogs.
Well, I
Unless
mean-
he's like one of them. But...
They've
I
gone
walk
from
close
city
to the
city.
door over here and just take a listen to see if I hear any fighting. Like if they attacked or not.
Now that things have quieted down and Euphemia and Deimos are not shouting at each other as quite as loudly, yes, you do. You hear
I'm just trying to be a good person.
a lot of commotion outside.
Guys, I hear commotion outside.
All right. Now this is also just me thinking. I'm assuming that someone put something in motion, maybe not, to try to kill the king. So maybe we should, as for right now, let those people think that the king's dead, because if people start spreading rumors about the king's dead, it will definitely show us who set the assassination attempts, as in spreading the word. As long as we
That
can hide
might
them.
not be a good idea either. Because the people will probably lose heart if their king is dead. And
Oh.
we kind of need them fighting at their highest spirits right now.
No, we'll keep them. But if they start spraying the word and stuff like that, we can instantly find out who was trying to kill the king. And we'll still have the king, so we can just reveal the king after that. But it will just give us a good insight into it. I mean, this is just me thinking. It might not be the best way.
It depends, really. Because if people lose heart and they give up in the moment of battle because their king is already dead, then
It's
you know,
not. That's true. We can't
Oh, you
reach the
do-
whole city by the time they would probably hear it.
There's people dying outside.
Well, all right, fine. Mr. King, you want to come with us?
The king nods his head and says, yes, obviously being with you folk is safer than even being in my own quarters. I will follow.
That's sweet. Let's kill some shit.
Okay, you guys going outside?
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah,
excited for
yeah.
some chariot combat.
Say we look outside first before we bust out there.
You open the door and look out, and there is pandemonium in the streets. People are running around. You see, the first thing you catches your eye is a green slaad on top of a building across the way from you, hurling bolts of fire down at people running by, and he's cackling. You see a streak of red as another red slaad rushes by. You look around, and there are a number of slaad in the streets, and you see it look on the ground, and you recognize the bodies of some of the refugees that you had seen earlier. Their chests burst open. The refugees from villages that had arrived with you earlier last week. Their corpses on the ground, chests burst open, as slaad seems to be appearing throughout the city.
We should try to get to the castle. Is that a defensible position, King?
The king nods. He says, "Yes, my inner walls are higher and thicker than those of the outer."
All right, can we? Do we know if that wall's defended at all, like with ballistas or anything?
There aren't the large ballista that you have on the outer walls, but there are some smaller ones. But mostly there's a lot of turrets and arrow slits for like murder holes and stuff like that for guards to shoot from.
So are we saying that the outer city, or the inner outer wall, the part that we're in, whatever it's called, is that place completely lost, undefendable?
No. There's slaad. There's pockets of slaad all over the place. But you're talking right now within the city walls. There's probably 40 or 50,000 humans, people, and we're talking maybe a couple dozen.
So
slaad.
they're fighting. Everyone's fighting against the slaad. It's just not being overrun.
Yeah. Right now,
I understood.
It's pandemonium and chaos. The army of slaad is outside the walls still.
Okay, I understood you wrong then.
Because
then we
the more
cannot.
villagers that die, the more slaad there will be inside.
Basically, what's happening is that the refugees, the sickened refugees that were arriving with you, that you guys have been seeing over the past couple of weeks, some of them were infected, and they're starting to turn.
Well, let's get to the priests and get them to heal the people the refugees before they all turn. And let's try to get rid of these slaad first and hope the outer walls, survive.
Yeah.
What do we do with the king?
We gotta bring him with us, I think. Because these slaad can honestly be anywhere now if he wasn't safe with his personal guard.
Okay.
We're basically the personal guard now.
Yeah.
Okay.
What would you guys think about trying to send word out? Well, trying to send out word to the gates to see if each gate can probably spare, I don't know, 10, 20 people.
Can I see the gate from here?
You guys are close enough to the gate, but at that, as you guys are talking, a familiar face pulls up, and Ayland comes up to you guys. He's actually dragging a slaad body behind him, the corpse of a red that he had slain earlier, and he takes it and he hurls it into the middle of the street. He says, "I caught that one around the corner. These beasts seem to be popping up everywhere. But I believe they are not the primary threat. That army still lurks beyond the wall." He looks at you all and says, "The king." He looks harried. "Did you find him?" "I see. Well done." He waves his hand, and a bunch of his guards and paladins come charging in, and his clerics are around. He says, "My friends, let me take care of the inner walls of the city interior. I have men everywhere, and we are equipped to handle this. The greater threat still remains outside."
Okay, we do need to get those ballista working and get those arrows going, because we need that army dealt with.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go. Come on, King.
Alright. So, Aelin takes his troops of paladins and soldiers, and they start spreading out and going district to district, and start trying to clear the city. Remember, it's late at night now. You're pushing 10 p.m. But in the dark of night seems to be when the slaad had designed this attack. They can see well. People are having a hard time. You guys head to the wall, and as you arrive, you instantly know that something is different. You see arrows starting to fly. You see men starting to man their stations. the army is attacking. The slaad are invading.
Let's go kill us some frogs and cook some frog legs.
Okay.
Look for that.
You
Probably
guys
need to get to those ballistas.
take your lift to the top of the wall, and as you're riding the lift, you hear a bunch of screams and gasps as panicked men cry out, and you hear this huge, resounding impact at the gate. Boom! As the whole thing is rocked and its foundations, and the gate itself buckles. You arrive at the top of the wall to see. 1 second here. So let me prep this here. This next encounter.
Deimos, you want to head to our chariot?
Heck yeah, I want to get in our chariot.
Okay, the top,
That's down here. We're up here.
the top of the wall. You guys. Are at
I
the
will
top,
carry
right,
the
at
damn
top of the
chariot.
wall. The top of the wall is actually wide enough for you to ride a chariot on, if you wanted to.
Yep. Let's do it.
I'm down.
Sounds like a good plan. Actually, I don't know. For these gates, how many people are around the gate? And how big are, like, what's the square footage in these gates?
The gates are pretty large. They're primary city gates. We're talking 20 feet across and probably
Okay.
20 high.
Okay, and do we have a lot of people by us or anything?
Yeah, there's soldiers everywhere. And I can't put them all on the map, obviously.
Okay, yeah, no, I was just wondering. I mean, I'm not going to do it, but I was thinking for some stupid stuff you could do. I could put Crusader Mantle up, and they all get extra D4 damage.
Okay.
Would that be any
I can
good?
take that into account. Yeah. All right. So this is what's happening here, guys. You are at the top of this. You guys reach the top, and you see slaad everywhere. They're swarming the walls, or they're trying to swarm the walls. I'm throwing them out on the field.
I'm thinking if we're in our chariot, we shouldn't be on the wall. We should be down there.
Okay, so that's a representation of the slaad that you're seeing. But more importantly, you guys catch a glimpse of something you have not seen before. Now your experiences with the slaad in previous adventures had been pretty limited. The variety that you had seen was obviously not the full array of the species that the species contained. This is what you see at the gate.
Now that guy looks like a good guy to run over with our chariot.
Okay.
Let's do it.
This is a hulking, massively armored, titanic slaad. It is probably 20 feet tall. Its muscles and shoulders are vast and broad. And he is at the gate. And it was him that had blasted the thing, half breaking it. Everybody,
Again, I
roll
repeat, let's do it.
Initiative.
Just wondering, how many people are actually on this?
humans,
Yeah.
archers. There's a bunch of them. Over the whole stretch of this wall, there's a couple hundred. In this immediate map picture, there's probably 30 all along the wall. So
Now,
along
would
the
this
front
make
lines,
this
firing.
unfair-ish if I use that spell? Because I can use different ones. I don't want to make it so they do a shit ton of extra damage.
No, that's fine. I'll just be rolling damage, collective damage from their arrows and stuff. This is a lot of slaad. I mean, we're talking thousands of hit points represented here.
Okay, maybe we can use those extra 30 D4 then. Okay, yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay. All right, Balanar. You guys get to the top of the wall. The slaad is down below you. You guys are obviously looking up. The city gate in the middle, that is a representation of the gate. And he is a titanic slaad. He does siege damage against the gate, so he does double damage. And he's really trying to get that gate open. All right.
Can I hit him from where I'm at, or I'd have to run down?
Well, from where you are
Where
now.
you are now.
Well, I'm saying if I move right next to him, would I be able to hit him?
How, you're gonna try to swing down at him with your axe?
Or with my sword?
With your sword? That's gonna be kind of hard.
Okay, then what I'm gonna do is run over to this ballista and use that to shoot at him.
Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to give you control of that ballista.
Out of curiosity, were we able to collect our weapons from the bodies in the house?
Yes, your hand axes and your javelins and stuff, yeah. So, you're not going to be able to target that, Balanar. What you can do is grab the attack, drag it onto the slaad, and grab the damage and drag it onto the slaad, and that'll take the place of targeting. And that's a crit.
Nice.
Okay.
Bye-bye, Mr. Slaad.
You run over to the ballista and you fire. Go ahead and drag the damage on. Actually, that didn't add the crit damage. Roll another 6d6. I was like 6d10, sorry. Nice. 38 on top of that. Okay. Oh, plus a d4.
Oh, plus a d4.
Fine, roll a d4.
I'm just joking.
Fine. What spell was it?
It's a Crusader Mantle. It's like I put an aura of 30 feet around me, and everyone pretty much gets to add d4 radiant damage to each attack.
Okay. Sure, sounds good. Alright, Balanar, that's your turn. Firing that thing, that did a... Yeah, you did 75 damage to him. Okay. Deimos.
Is there someone manning the other ballista?
Nope.
No? Alright, any of you guys want to take it over? If not, I'm going to ride my chariot over there and shoot.
I can take it. I'm almost out of spell slots.
Okay, sounds good. In that case, I am going to run down these stairs on my chariot, plant myself there.
Okay, so you're inside the wall? Now there are other
like underneath the gate.
There are other things on top of the wall. There's a couple smaller... Let me see what I had here. 1 second.
Since I'm in the chariot with Deimos, shouldn't I be moving with him? Would we technically have the same initiative?
Here, I'll just stay by you. That would make more sense.
That's not me.
Ajax.
Oh, why did I do that? My bad. There we go. Yeah, Ajax, you be in the cart with me.
Okay.
So
is this a humanoid? A slaad?
No, they're not. They're monstrosities.
Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there could be a way just to set you and I up on the same initiative. Is there a way to do that?
I can move you guys to the same initiative, yeah.
Yeah, I can go down
to make it fair.
Okay, let's do that then.
There, you guys are really close anyway. Okay, so here's some things that are on the wall with you. So there's cauldrons of boiling oil. There's the large ballista, obviously, and there are a couple of these. Oh wow, these do a lot of damage too. These mangonels. Okay, I don't have tokens for them, but I'll say there's a mangonel here and down here.
How high are these walls again?
These walls are about 40 feet tall.
Is there a way for us to get our chariot down on the outside of the wall without just going over the edge?
Do you have any?
Or opening the gate?
You could open the gate. There's no stairs that lead to the outside.
Yeah, if they break through the gate, we got our chariot where we can go out there and start doing some crazy stuff. But yeah.
How much damage can our chariot take?
I don't have a... It can take a lot.
Yeah, it's a kick-ass chariot.
Because what I'm thinking we do is I think we just drive over the wall and go at it with all we got.
Actually, I got a plan first, alright?
I
say that we drive the chariot over to the oil burning, whatever it's called thing, I will, for my action, I'm going to take the fireworks I strapped on my horse off the horse, like the big bundle I stuck on top of its back,
Yeah.
throw it down there,
Okay.
and then you pour that thing on top of this guy. Then it's like a cool firework explosion oil ball.
Flaming.
Yeah.
It's got to do extra damage, I would think.
Yeah.
I bought
I
a
mean,
ton
who
of
do we aim it
fireworks.
at? Who do we aim it at?
I think we
Titanic?
just drop it. This guy's like on the gate, and these things are right above the gate.
Do we just drop the fireworks on the by the Titanic slot?
Yeah, I'm just gonna drop them. I'm gonna pull them off as my action and drop them down there. And then for your action, you can just pour that burning oil of fire stuff, which will light all these things. And it's like a really crappy bomb, but it's like a shit ton of really crappy bombs.
Let's go for it.
Okay.
Hurt.
That sounds great. Alright, so Deimos, you go over there and you toss your firework package over the end and you light the fuse. Okay. Ajax, you run over and you grab this cauldron of oil with you. Okay. So I'm going to give you the sheet for that. Just go ahead and this guy's not going to make... I'll roll a dex save for him. He's not going to make a dex save. His dex is like crap. Okay, so he fails a dex save.
Oh shit.
Go ahead and roll and drag the damage of that cauldron down onto him.
How would I do such a thing?
So on you see the cauldron sheet that I gave you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, down at the bottom where it says taking 10 3d6 fire
3d6
damage.
fire damage.
It lights up blue.
It lights up blue.
Grab that, and drag it, and drop it onto his image.
On the map?
Yes. Okay. And since Deimos did the fireworks too, I'll let you compound that since it's basically coating him in the hot oil and then lighting it on fire. I'll let you roll that 3 more times. So drag that onto him 3 more times. Okay, so he is permanently on fire. So I'm going to add...
Plus the D4.
Okay. I'm going to add an effect onto him that will continue to do that. That damage every time it's his turn. Okay? Good job, guys. He's coated in fire now. Alright, these slaad are hitting the base of the wall, and they're trying to scale it.
Does he dump that cauldron of oil on himself for hitting the wall?
No, they're not slamming the wall. They're just getting to the base of the wall, and they're looking around for ways to scale the wall. They're trying to claw their way up. It's like super difficult terrain, but you can see this guy. He's using a lot of his movement, and he makes a way up about 10 feet up the wall face, digging his claws in beneath the bricks of the wall. Okay. Oh, it's the ballista that goes on. Let's see. I'll take that off on Oops. There we go. That goes on Balanar's turn. So the red slaads are climbing to the wall too. Everyone is making their way to the wall. Okay. Elwin, your turn.
Okay, so I'm trying to get to the other ballista.
Okay.
I won't make it there this turn, so I'll get up to here, which is exactly 30 feet,
Yep.
to dump this onto these guys that are climbing. One onto this guy that's climbing.
Alright, roll 3d6 damage. Yeah, just 3d6. So he takes fire damage, 6 fire damage. Got it.
And as a bonus act, no, that's cool.
Okay. These guys are continuing to make their way to the wall. The titanic slaad takes more fire damage. He is going to attack the hell out of the city gate. He raises up a massive fist up into the air, and he begins to swing it down. Now, the way this ability works is it's an area of effect attack, and it hits basically two initiative turns later. So he starts raising his fist up and he starts swinging it down, but it takes a long time for that to happen. Euphemia, your turn.
What's the M stand for?
The M is a mangonel. I'll link that to you. I put it in chat earlier, but here, I'll put it in chat again.
I have no idea what a mangonel is.
I'm not sure what it is either. I think it's like a rock thrower.
Rock thrower.
It's a large siege weapon, unaligned.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it throws.
Yeah, it's like a
it was used to
catapult.
throw pots or with like flaming liquids and stuff.
Yeah. It's like a
Oh, it's a
catapult.
catapult. Okay. Guess I'll move to that now.
Okay. That'll hit. There you go. Okay. So you plug
Is that
blue
all?
slot number 1. Yeah, it does one. Yeah, you lob some. You're able to angle the thing down. We'll just say physics be damned, and you're slamming him with these boulderish type things, and he crumples down as he's hit by the weight of it.
Just so
Yeah,
I can think sorry, just so I can think I'm a
Yeah,
room
it's
top
right,
hog.
Right.
Right.
Go ahead,
Right,
always.
go on.
Ajax,
How tall is the Titanic slot?
about 20 feet tall. Maybe 25.
And you said the wall was 40?
Yeah. He's not quite as tall. Actually, the wall is 40. Let's just say he's almost as tall as the wall. So 30, 35 feet. Let's just say that. He's big.
I'm thinking
He's
of doing
big.
something crazy.
Okay, what are you doing?
Wait till my
yet.
turn.
Well, it's not your
I was planning.
Okay. Euphemia, anything else?
I'm gonna give Bardic Inspiration to Deimos.
Okay, Deimos, you got a D8. Okay. As you end your turn, Euphemia, the Titanic slaad's fist comes down onto the city gate, crunching it for 106 damage as splinters of wood and metal fly everywhere. Oh, that hit it really hard. Okay. And at that, all the archers and all the people, they fire their arrows, their collective arrows, and we'll add Deimos' D4s. 53 damage to this blue slaad over here, blue slaad number 2. Okay. Red slaad number 2 runs up to here. Blue slaad number 2 limps his way forward as he tries to make it to the base of the wall. Balanar, it's your turn.
Okay, same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and use the ballista to fire at the titanic slaad.
Okay. Roll the attack. It flies over him. Do the damage roll real quick. Don't drop it on him. Just do it. Just drop it in chat. Okay. I'm gonna say that since this thing is so large, it misses him. The downward angle carries past him, deflects off, and it basically clips red slaad number 2, who is in your line of fire, like this. Right? It clips red slaad number 2, doing half damage to him. Okay, so he takes 23 points of damage.
Would that be my turn, or do I get the second attack?
No, you can. Basically, these things need to be reloaded. So one action, one of your attacks is reloading it. The second one is firing.
Okay, then can I actually since we did get some acid potions, can I throw one at the titanic slaad?
Yeah. Okay. Roll me 2d6 for acid damage. Okay. It lands on him, it breaks across his back, and you can see it starting to steam as it's eating away at his thick carapace. Ajax, your turn.
How much percentage of this guy is on fire?
It's basically his torso. I'd say about 25% is burning.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
He's also like kind of like he's a little bit resistant to fire, so
Yeah.
What I am going to do is I'm going to jump on top of this guy
You bastard.
and
Not
plunge
yet.
my great axe into him.
Okay. Alright. So you leap off the gate and land right on top of him. Okay, go ahead and target him. Alright, start hacking away. You gonna go full Great Weapon Master Action Surge?
Not this turn.
Okay. You gotta roll the attack first.
Roll the attack first.
And that was done.
And that was done.
Deimos.
no, don't hurt me.
I meant to do it to the giant titanic slaad.
Okay. Okay.
It says I had the titanic slaad targeted.
Yeah. So you, on your action sheet, you're just double clicking the attack, right, next to Berserker Great Axe. Just double
Yes.
click
Just double click.
that. That's a damage roll. The attack roll is the
Roll is the
D20.
Okay, so am I doing my second attack or first attack right now?
First attack. Okay, let's just pretend. Alright, so roll against. So the first attack misses. So you jump off and you land and you swing, but you're a little bit off balance. So you're not able to punch through his shell.
Second attack misses as well.
Okay, yeah, he's you're off balance. You're in a weird spot right now, so you're not really able to land any damage on him. Okay, you can do anything else?
That's my turn.
All right, Deimos, what you gonna do?
All right. Well, for my action, I'm gonna stare at this guy straight in the eyes. I have my cat stare at him straight in the eyes too, and I'm gonna wait till he tries to make a move. So I'm gonna wait till his turn, and on his turn, I'm gonna cast Command as soon as he starts doing anything.
Oh, okay. All right, you're holding your action. Very good. Blue slaad number 3 is making his way. He's scampering up. He's 2/3 of the way up the wall now. This guy is starting to climb as well. He's about 1/3 of the way up. This guy's climbing. These guys are all starting to scale the wall. Elwin, your turn.
I'll make it to my ballista.
Okay.
And I have the page for that,
Yeah.
please.
Okay.
Thank you. And I am going to attack the big guy.
Okay, just grab the attack roll and drop it on him. That misses, but go ahead and roll damage, because you're in a straight line for slaad number 1. Okay, 40 damage, so 20 carries through to number 1. As it swings by, it darts by him. These things are big and cumbersome, they're kind of hard to aim. But it does punch a big hole through the leg of slaad number 1. Okay. On his turn, he's going to make it to the wall. He's going to scamper up. At this point, another volley of arrows from the city guard fly out. So we're talking 6 of those and 6 of these. There we go. Oh, okay, lagging. That's enough. That drops slaad number 2. Red slaad number 2. He collapses to the ground, a quivering heap. Titanic slaad is going to raise his fist again and ready another attack.
I'm going to use my action on command on him.
Okay. He fails miserably.
I'm going to tell him to freeze.
Let me see how this spell works real quick.
As in, he can't move for a turn. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how it works. You should have told him to grovel so he goes prone.
Yeah, but you're on top of him, and I don't know. I just want him to not move.
Okay.
Did he take his fire damage?
Let's break the game together, guys.
Should have, yeah. There you go. There's his fire damage. Okay. Let's see. The spell has no effect if the target is undead, if it doesn't understand your language, if your command is directly harmful to it. Okay. Alright, I'll take that. Yeah. Okay. So he's up, his arm is up in place. He is going to stop moving right where his arm is. He's basically reared it back to do another shot at the gate, but he stops right there. Okay.
Sweet.
Euphemia, your turn.
I'm gonna shoot at red slaad one.
Okay. It soars through the air, but it's a miss. Where's word number 1? Here. Okay, roll damage. Okay. Since this thing impacts the ground next to them, I'm going to say that number 4 takes half damage as the thing impacts the ground. Okay. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay. Blue slide number 1 is going to start scaling the wall. Or number 2, Balanar, your turn.
Actually, before I use the ballista, I'm gonna take another one of those potions of acid and actually try to throw it into the titanic slaad's eye.
Alright, you're going to have to roll me a, or at least hit him in the face kind of thing. Roll a, just a straight d20, contested by his AC. Oh, what's this? Okay, it flies across, it cracks, it doesn't quite make it into his eye, but it does impact him on top of the head. I'm going to add another ongoing damage effect to him, since you've hit him twice with acid now.
I'm obviously avoiding the fire and acid on his body.
Okay. He's going to take regular acid damage now. Alright, doing anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot him with the ballista.
Go ahead. That's a hit. That one's a solid contact. It's the bolt plunges deep into his side, and you can see him flinch heavily. All right, on Ajax's turn. You're right on top of him, man. What you gonna do?
We're going whole action surge, great weapon master, the whole shebang.
Okay.
Did the people not go this turn? The arrows and stuff.
There you go at the end, I think.
Yeah, they go sporadically. They went a few turns ago. They'll go soon. Okay, first attack is a miss. Go ahead and roll another attack. Or you, yeah.
Damn.
Damn. I just can't hit. Action surge to attack.
Okay. Roll again. That's a hit. Okay, that crunches into him.
I'm going to precision attack that too.
The last one hit, so you don't need to precision attack it.
I think I'm misunderstanding precision attack.
Precision
My bad.
attack just adds to the attack roll. So if you have a miss,
Okay.
you can
Okay,
add a
my bad.
D8.
Add a D8.
Try to make it hit.
Okay, yeah, then never mind.
Okay, you have one more attack.
You're right, I do. I'm going to Great Weapon Master it again.
Okay. That's a hit. Okay, so that plus 10 damage.
Let me reroll that damage.
There you go. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that one crunches deep into him. You finally make a solid strike with your great axe and get it in between one of the plates from his shoulder to his neck. And you, as it plunges deep, he shakes underneath the impact of the blow. And you definitely catch the flesh underneath. Alright, I think that's your turn. Anything else?
I'm good.
Deimos, you're up.
Alright, oops, not the gate. Ah! Sorry, moving the wrong thing. I am going to move over here.
Okay.
As I'm going to use my bonus action first to use spiritual weapon.
Alright.
Which guy is the highest on here?
The one right in front of you, actually.
Oh, okay,
Number 3.
well, yeah, and I'm casting this as a level 3 spell because why the heck not?
Okay, he's two-thirds of the way up. So he's kind of like 10 feet away from you.
It misses, but I'll use the D8 that I have been given.
Okay.
No, that's not a D8. That's a D8.
Yep, it hits.
Alright, and then, fudge. I gotta add an extra D8 to this.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take it. Okay.
And we should add 2d4s to the Titanic Slug's damage because of Crusader's Mantle.
Okay, roll the 2d4s. Six more damage. Radiant damage.
Alright,
Deimos.
and then I'm gonna hold my actual action again on for my same thing I did last time, my command on the big guy.
Got it. And your turn. Okay, this guy makes it to the top of the wall. Right, and that was most of his move, but he's got enough in him to take a swing at you, Deimos, and he's gonna miss. At that point, another barrage of arrows and attacks fly out from all the men on the wall. That's 40 damage. Okay. So, Red Slaad number 1 is hurting pretty bad. Red Slaad number 3 is 2/3 of the way up the wall. Red Slaad number 4 is 2/3 of the way up. So is blue number 1. Elwin, it's your turn.
Alright, I'm gonna shoot my ballista. Crap. I closed it.
Oh, I'll give it to you again.
Alright, let's see if I hit this time.
Nope, that's a miss. Roll the damage, though. It bursts through and it lands in a big splash behind him. It's enough to kill, so half that damage is enough to kill red slaad number 1 and hurt number 4.
Alright, let's see if I can use anything else. Yeah. Bonus action.
Mhm.
I'm gonna earn a second and a first level spell slot
Okay,
to get 3 sorcery points back. And that's my turn.
sounds good. On his turn, the fire and the acid eat away at some of his hit points. The titanic slaad, it's his turn, so the effect of your command from previously, Deimos, wears off and his fist starts to descend. And he fails again. So you're going to say the same thing?
Yep.
Freeze. Okay, so now it's like midway at the gate, but his arm comes to a halt. Alright, that's his turn. Euphemia, your turn. And you're marking off the spell slots for this, right, Deimos? Every time you cast it?
Oh, sorry, I missed the last one. I'll do it right now.
Okay.
But yeah.
Your turn, Euphemia. That's a hit. .25 damage. That is enough to knock him back down from where he is. Throwing him off the wall. He falls back down. He takes another 11 points of falling damage. He is not looking very happy. Oops. There we go. As he impacts the ground below.
Okay, that's all.
Okay, another barrage from the guards. These all plunge into red slaad number 4. And he is not looking very happy either. Balanar, your turn.
Okay, out of curiosity, is the hot oil still on the ground area where blue slaad 3 and 2 are?
Yeah, it's soaking the ground. 2 and 3 are halfway up the wall though, or 2/3 of the way up the wall.
Is 2 soaked in the... I'm sorry, is 3 soaked in the oil too, or did he manage to shrug it off climbing up?
No, it's still on him.
Okay, so I yell to the other people on the wall to go ahead and light their arrows and focus on blue slaad 3 to light the oil.
Okay, next barrage they will do that.
And then I go ahead and fire the ballista at titanic slaad.
All right. That's a hit.
Maybe you can teach me how to shoot this thing.
That one strikes him in the center part of his torso, and it plunges deep inside. He stutters, as you can tell that he is gravely wounded now, with all the damage that's been coming to him. Ajax, it's your turn.
We're gonna go first attack with Great Weapon Master.
Okay. That's a miss.
Add the D8 to it for precision attack.
All right, roll the d8. That makes it a hit. Okay, so you can Great Weapon Master damage, and then roll the attack. Oh, that was twice. Hold on 1 second. All right, go ahead. Roll damage. Nice. Nice. You cut deep. He is on his last strand of health.
Second attack.
That's a hit. Okay. How do you want to do that?
So essentially what I do is I kind of run along the across the top of him, and I jump, and as I slam down through the axe, I'm going to try to rip through as much flesh as I can while kind of falling down.
Okay. You do that. You jump off, and as you fall down his torso, you're a pretty large being yourself. Definitely not a small guy. Your great axe flashes out, and it catches a critical spot in the seam between his armor. And as it digs in there, it splits his chest open as you drag down. You can see the trail of parting flesh widen above you as you make your way all the way down to 30 feet of him. You drop down to the ground, and he's there wavering in the air above you. His torso, one big open chasm, his head and his neck seeping blood, and different parts of him still burning and smoking with acid and fire. And he teeters over, and he collapses down to the ground. The titanic slaad is dead. At that, the rest of the slaad freeze, and they turn their heads as one, almost as if they've heard something, or they've been issued a command together. And as one, they all turn and start running.
Can I try to shoot one?
Yeah, I
just for
grabbed
fun?
3 since he's right next to me.
Okay, so alright, so Deimos first, go ahead and roll the athletics check. Because he was at the top of the wall, so.
Nope.
Okay, so 3 is going to... Well, let's see here.
I got a 1 and a 2.
I know, let's see if we can beat it. Alright, he beats it.
Yeah.
Alright, he rushes away from me, he jumps off the wall and lands down there below. He takes 11 points of bludgeoning damage as he lands, but he starts running. Okay, who else wanted to do something?
I did.
Go ahead.
I want to see if I can at least hit one before they run. No.
It
Actually,
misses.
did Balanar have enough time to reload the
Can I
ballista?
fire too?
Yes, you can all get one shot. Euphemia misses. Balanar misses.
Hey, it's a good thing we're getting these ones right now.
Holy cow! It makes up for all the 20s you guys have been rolling. Okay, they start running to distance. What I want you guys all to do is make a perception check. Holy.
What do I
crap.
see?
Okay, Elwin, with your keen, elvish vision, you suspected anyway that that since they all turned as one as soon as the titanic slaad hit the ground, that there's something else going on. And with your knowledge that these things communicate telepathically, you assume that they had been issued a command and they were all obeying it. You're looking off into the distance, and over the rise of a hill, pretty far away, about a quarter of a mile away, you see this. It's dark out, but your eyes can cut through just enough to see a small figure. He's quite a bit smaller than the slaad you're even facing. These guys are all 10, 12 feet tall. This guy's about the normal human size. But his coloration and his physique is much different than the rest of them. And as the rest of the slaad come running back to him, he drops down behind the hill and is gone.
We only saw one of them.
Yes.
So the little guy's the leader? Weird.
Okay.
Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna lower my spiritual weapon, since it's a chain all the time, over to Ajax so we can climb back up.
Okay. Okay. It comes down. Ajax, you grab the other end of this divine chain and you start climbing your way back up.
And I give him a serious ass high five and a thumbs up. I was like, that was badass shit.
That was pretty crazy. Okay, guys. At that, you guys have defended the first assault on the wall. There's still a lot of action inside the city gates, but this place is clear for now. It's late at night. It's probably midnight, and I think that is where we will end it for tonight.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, guys. Okay,
Yeah, time for me.
go on. What'd you say?
I was just saying I gotta go to bed.
Okay, you guys got through the 2 big encounters. Let's see what this gets you. Oh, you're close, but not quite enough to level up.
Nah,
Oh,
damn.
so close.
Whew. I don't know. I still think that big slaad should be more experienced.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. You had 2 fights. You had a lot of...
We saved a king, and we killed a gigantic creature.
There's a lot of good role-playing. Okay, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
So I'll give you guys enough to exactly make it to level 8, so 34,000.
Woot!
Okay, so put yourselves at 34,000 experience, and you guys are level
Yeah.
8 for next week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Alright?
Where do we put experience in?
On your character sheet, the main page at the top, on the where it says Fighter number 7, to the right of that is a magnifying glass. Click that, and it has your XP level there. And you can just change
And we're
it.
exactly enough for level 8.
Yep, so 34,000.
Well, I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks for the.
Good night, Euphemia.
Yep. Thanks for everything. Also,
Thanks
hey,
for
thanks for
joining us,
sending me
Luke.
From your
those
channel.
those gun videos. Those are pretty cool.
Oh yeah, you saw that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I had to go to the
match.
range today. I was just like, damn. I haven't gone in a while.
Yeah, it was a good match. We there was a lot of us, and we shot a lot of rounds. Probably 50,000 rounds over the course of the weekend is what we shot.
Damn. That's awesome.
All right, guys. Hey, Luke. Thanks for joining us. Hope you had a good time.
Yeah, no problem.
Did I get the stat increase or get Elementalist to ignore resistance on fire damage?
That's a good question. Yeah, you guys
So
get.
will it just automatically level me up then?
No,
You
no,
gotta
you
go
have to
through
do
the
it.
book and drag it over.
Yeah.
Gotcha.